and there are several succubi flitting about around him, seeing to his every need. His nails are being manicured, his toes being pedicured. He is in all ways, shapes, and form being pampered. And that is because he has an enormous amount of people to kill soon.
Sounds like a granite pack.
I got the recording started a little late on that, but I think it'll be all right.
It'll be fine. Sorry, I forgot to
Count it in.
warn you and count it in for you.
It's all
What's
good.
granite
So
back?
good at murder.
So you guys you fought your way through the depths of the sunken keep in the lower levels, encountered a very strange worm mass mage and his
That thing is uber
eye,
creepy.
eyeball minions and defeated it before it could escape. And then you went to unlock the warded Weave Guardian prison with a knock knock joke that ended in the repeated growling word of doorknob, 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 and you guys were plunged into utter darkness.
Yeah, that
So
happened.
where's the slod?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm expecting next.
Yeah. So was I. Yeah.
At this
And-
moment,
Because I'm expecting that.
Salamander.
you put your hand down to where you feel there should be ground to reach up for a salamander friend, and there is no ground. Although you are standing on something, you go to reach under your boot, and there is no ground.
Where did we end
Nor are
last
there
time?
salamanders.
What'd you say, Tony?
Where did we end last time? Where are we? We went down into the thing, right?
Yeah,
Yep, you're
we
in
fought.
this dungeon.
We fought
There we go. Thank you.
The larval
Yep.
guys.
No, this was the map I needed to remind me. We're good. We had the larva mage of
Yep.
of awfulness.
Mm-hmm.
However, that guy's dead, and we looted him. So, did we get anything off of him? Did we get anything valuable off of him?
I believe you scooped up his robe and his mask.
And that was it. That was
That's all he had.
He turned into powder or something, right? He dissolved.
Yeah, you really wanted his mask.
Piles of dead worms.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's gross.
This is so gross.
I would like to take a look at everybody and see if we all seem okay. I know Thanak was restrained and had like worm burrows for a while.
That should be all gone now, right?
We'll find out in a moment.
You go to look around and you don't see any of your friends.
Excuse me?
You're in utter blackness.
How'd that happen? When did that happen? I could see Mav a moment ago.
When Thanak answered the knock knock joke.
Oh.
Who's there?
Do we have
Or
telepathic bond?
We should still have telepathic bond up.
You do still have telepathic bond up, and you can communicate through that.
Are we all seeing the same thing? Like,
yes.
Are we all okay?
Yep.
Can we hear each other audibly?
It is muffled. It almost sounds like you're speaking underwater.
Oh, I don't like
that. But you can hear each other. And you can tell you're not far away, but it's definitely got a blub blub. Like,
I am almost.
Did you see my perception roll, Mike?
I did.
And all you see anything different?
All you see is black.
Okay.
You can't even, bringing your hand up to your face, you cannot even see your hand in front of your face.
You know, that's really unfortunate because I don't get to roll this well with perception too often, so I'm just saying.
Well, the good thing for Othig is he feels he's just not seeing everything everybody else is again, so it doesn't feel any different for him.
Is it magical darkness?
It is not.
Okay.
Not in the sense that you're asking.
Yeah. Right.
It's
not
like
the darkness spell. It's just there's no light here.
To cast True Sight.
Okay. You still cannot see.
I'm gonna light a. Do I have any torches?
I know I do.
I don't. I have no torches. Never mind.
Well, Othig's gonna totally steal that idea and do that.
Jeffrey is unprepared.
Jeffrey's thinking, going through his pack, wondering why he doesn't have any torches. So Othig whips one out, lights it up, and Othig, this is super weird. Like, you can now see yourself in the torch, but it doesn't look like the torch is casting any light at all. It's almost like you are now
Like it has no flame, or
no, it's got flame, but there's no radiance of light to it. But you can see yourself, so it is obviously casting light. It just doesn't look like it. You kind of, from an outside perspective, you would look like a window cling sticker of Othig.
Like 2D?
Well, no, he'd still be a three-dimensional being, but if you were looking at him, you know how light has that glow around it?
Yeah.
It's almost like somebody just cut out the shape of Othig.
So like the light is literally just on what it's reflecting, and that's it. And
That's it. And there is nothing but you next to you to reflect.
I'm just gonna, in my brain, I guess, ask
Can you
Thanok,
see me?
what the crap? Where are we, and why are we?
I'm going to say doorknob who?
You already said doorknob who. That's when he just
No,
started
I said
repeating
who's
doorknob.
there. I said who's there.
Oh, that's true. You did say who's there. Doorknob who. There is no answer to you communicating that, but what feels like very, very far away from you, and it feels like far away from all of you, you all see it at the same time. There is a small point of light that appears.
I don't like that.
Are we?
I'm gonna cast light on my staff.
I'm gonna
You
cast.
have the same effect that Othig is having.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you don't see anybody else, but you now can see yourself.
Are we able to like?
We can't see
like,
each other
move at
like locally lit up,
Nope.
but we can only see the single point of light.
Correct.
That's
But
weird.
you can hear each other if you talk audibly. It just sounds really muffled and like somebody is speaking clearly but underwater.
Huh.
Othig will start to walk towards that point of light.
I'm gonna
Not too
cast
close, though.
invisibility on myself from my slide whistle.
Okay. Dana?
I was just saying, do we even have the ability to move?
Yes.
Like if
Oh,
we like,
Othig feels like he's moving towards the point of light.
Okay, then I'll move towards it.
Mav will get moved.
Sure.
Do I sense any other mental presence other than the four of us?
Oh.
No.
Okay.
No, you don't. You could make your check to see if you could pick up something elsewhere, but at a surface level, no.
Okay, then I'll make a check.
Okay. There is definitely something watching you. It is hidden. It is trying very hard to conceal itself, but there is another presence. You
Somewhere.
almost don't get it, but it's there.
Okay.
Oh,
Jeffrey would like to hide.
Jeez.
He's doing a pretty darn good job of it.
I'm gonna head towards that point of light as well, though.
Okay, so Mav, with your true sight up, something weird happens. You can now see Jeff. Even though Jeff went invisible,
And
you
hit.
can now see him. Jeff, you see something unlike anything you have ever seen before in your life. You are in a fluid sea of crystal. It is bright as day, and there are creatures swimming through this crystal. You can see the crystals being shoved aside like bubbles in the air, and they are circling around and staring at you guys. You're all surrounded by multiples of them.
How did I see this?
The minute you cast invisibility, it became visible.
Oh! Did my stealth help at all? Do I feel like they can see me? Do I have anything to hide behind?
No.
Can I hide behind Thanok?
You don't see them.
Oh, that's right.
Can I go poke Jeffrey right in the face?
Well, don't do
Like,
it.
Just...
Jeff, you feel a hand poke you in the face. You cannot see this hand.
I don't know that he was about to do that. Now I'm friggin' terrified. Why you got? I scream like a child in a haunted house.
All the crystalline entity fish all turn towards you and start to swim closer.
I start screaming more, and do I still see this point of light?
You see a point of darkness now.
I'm gonna run towards it at full gusto. I don't know what else to do. Something touched my face. The fish are coming, and it's game over. So Jeff's gone.
Matthew, just watch Jeff tear off screaming after you touch him. You have no idea that he's being pursued by crystalline fish, and you just think it's
I was
funny.
just laughing.
But I would imagine you would hear him screaming about what he's
Yeah,
seeing.
fish,
in
big
his
fish, gonna
brain.
eat me. Something touched my leg. Something, and just screaming like that, like I'm in the water.
My laughter.
Yeah.
So
Both they could be trying to look around to see what the big deal was.
yeah, I'm gonna try and
There's-
yeet myself through the portal. I don't know. I don't know what
So
else
it's
to
a-
do.
You do start to feel like it's getting closer to you as you're running towards it.
Oh, good.
Those of you who are walking, haven't quite noticed yet, but you don't feel like it's not getting closer. Jeff is definitely getting closer to the point of darkness, though.
Good. This is good. Nothing bad can happen. I'm just gonna run. I don't know what else to do. I'm out of bardic inspirations. I'm almost out of spell slots. I've got a couple uses on the penny whistle. Anything on my robe I can use? Oh, the robe could do. No, that won't work.
Jeff, what's your AC?
I don't know. Probably not high
Is it
enough. 21.
21?
It is.
Oh, 21 it is, so I do get you.
Oh no.
So, as you're running, something wraps around your leg and yoinks you off the non-ground ground that you're running on.
No friggin'
because-
way.
You're running and you were able to run, but you are obviously in some sort of place that operates similar to water.
Yeah. Do I feel like I'm still concentrating on invisibility?
Yeah.
Oh,
You
what?
You aren't damaged at all.
But something grabbed me. Can I see what grabbed me? Is it one of the fish?
Oh, it wants you to see what grabbed you. It is
Oh.
one of the fish, and now that it's close, you realize this thing is different than a fish. It's got kind of an elongated body and a tail like a fish, but instead of fins, it's got tentacles, and instead of gills, it's got mouths that it's actually breathing through, and they all have one very large, spirographed irised eyeball in the middle of their head.
I don't like that at all. I have like no spells. I'm panicking. I'm going to I am gonna cast on the creature Mordenkainen's Faithful Hound from my robe and just be like, sick 'em, Fido!
Oh, okay, I think that's initiative then for Jeff and the creatures.
I mean, this creature's terrifying. Do I have any reason to believe it's not hostile?
It didn't kill you. It's
Yeah,
not
but
gonna hurt you.
neither has Thanok. But he could.
Okay.
Fair. All right. Let me get the creatures.
Yeah, I don't know what else to do. No one else is helping. Mav's just laughing at me.
Dude, it's not that no one else is helping. No one else can see them.
Mav
Mav
can.
see him.
No, Mav
No,
can't see
well-
them. He can only see me.
Othig would help if he could see them.
How many of these individuals are there?
There are 2 of these creatures.
Phantom Watchdog. I know that. Spells.
Fazergul's not there. My Faz.
Creatures except you can't be harmed. Small average creature must be attached to like one creature that is hostile to me. So the hound only attacks things that are hostile to me. I don't know if that's relevant.
I don't quite know how to interpret that because they have not done anything truly hostile to you, but I suppose they did grab you against your will.
Based on the words of it, I think it would require something to act aggressively towards me, but because I can't actually tell it to do anything. It just makes an attempt to bite a creature within 5 feet of it that is hostile to me.
Sounds good.
Yeah. And I cast it basically on Fishy.
Okay. So you cast it on him, and the dog shows up, and it is poised to strike. And a tentacle brushes against your face,
Nope.
and it encourages you in your brain
Oh,
to
God.
put your pet away.
I don't think I can. It lasts for 8 hours. It's not concentration.
But you can dismiss it, can't you?
I don't think so. I'm
What?
looking.
Come on.
If it's not concentration, he probably can't dismiss it.
It does start barking loudly.
Yep.
Well, you could tell it to go roll over, or you
I
know,
can't give it any instructions. Wow, this thing's great. It
Great
can
idea.
see
Sound
invisible.
like
It can see invisible creatures. I don't know if that's helpful. Otherwise, it can't see things. Oh, it can
Okay.
see into the ethereal plane, and ignores illusions.
Okay.
Yeah, I would just tell the creature, I can't. He's there. Just don't piss him off. I guess he's nice as long as you don't hurt me.
The other one swims over and consumes your hound.
Oh,
What? I think that would be hostile, wouldn't it?
Like, what's the stats on that? It might not consume it. What are
It
its
doesn't
stats?
have any. It's just there for 8 hours. It's not attackable. It's a phantom.
Oh.
It's a phantom dog. It cannot be attacked. It cannot be used for advantage. It cannot be used. So it does not work as a companion. It's literally just a. I think it would classify itself as a hazard.
I can't attack it?
That's what it says. And the only thing it does is it attempts to bite one thing within 5 feet of it that is hostile to me. It's basically supposed to guard like a door, or
Okay.
like you while you sleep.
Does it do damage?
Yeah, quite a bit.
It does
So-
damage, but it can't be damaged.
Correct. It's not a creature.
And it doesn't go away for 8 hours?
Yep. I'm trying to see if there's something in here about how to get rid of it. It doesn't look like it can be dismissed.
Seems completely not
Oh,
legit.
here we go. Here we go. Nope.
But it
Where it
doesn't
remains
move.
for the duration.
You can't
I
move
can
one
dismiss it.
from
Nope. And
Okay.
I cannot move it at all, but it goes away if I go more than 100 feet away from it,
No.
or if I spend an action to dismiss it. So that is at the
Okay.
bottom here. So I will dismiss it. I didn't know that I could
Okay.
do that.
All right. I had a plan. I cooked up a plan looking at my creature's abilities, and I could have done that. It was
Yep.
about to summon a phantasmal force of a big angry cat and chase your dog.
Yep. So, yep. And it can be dispelled. It's a level 4 conjuration spell. So
That was my other plan, but that wasn't as fun as giant cat.
it's true. I mean, that itself is kind of a dispelling.
Mm-hmm. So, it asks how you came to be here. It seems genuinely interested.
Do I have any idea how to answer that question? Because I don't necessarily know about the doorknob thing, and I don't know anything about Weave Guardians.
No, you would have heard the whole doorknob exchange.
I-
It was audible.
Okay,
Yeah,
I would just respond with, the doorknobs brought us here.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
They talk to each other a little bit. You can tell they're communicating. Their eyes shift over and look at each other, and you're not sure if they're laughing or angry.
Can I try to discern that?
You can.
Okay. I will attempt to discern their mental position towards me.
You're still not sure.
All right.
Everybody else, you guys are now all getting pretty close to the light. But Jeff, are you informing your friends what's going on?
I would certainly try to. I don't know where they are.
You okay?
I would just tell them the big-
Jeff to-
I would yell at the big fish has me. Run for your lives? I don't know.
Othik would tell you to tell them about the worm mage and the portal.
So I will tell them about the worm mage and the portal.
Okay. You bring up the worm mage, and you don't need an insight check
Good.
to tell that they are angry
At me?
at not directly at you. They don't like the worm mage.
We killed it!
And you hear them mutter the words in your brain. They're communicating, and you hear them angrily hiss and mutter the word star spawn.
I'll just hold up the mask and be like, "Look, we broke it."
They become angry at you,
I'll just.
but
That's great timing.
That was wonderful timing. Uh, I guess I'll ask them if they want it. I don't know.
they call you tainted.
Probably. That's true. Hell kicked me out, so you're probably right.
And demand that you allow them to destroy the things you're holding immediately before they consume you.
I assume I have only the mask because Mav was helping. I don't know. Maybe not. Mav, do you have the robe or do I have both?
I mean,
I'm a little guy. I don't know if I could just be carrying around a whole robe.
I think you
I
would
don't
have
have
both of
it.
them because you said you looted.
You're not
You went to loot them.
Thumbelina.
I am, however, 2 feet tall. Have you ever tried to held a toddler or hand a toddler an article of clothing?
Yes, but their issue isn't strength; it's motor control.
I mean, I'm about as strong as a toddler. Yeah, I guess I'll. Sure, I don't care. I don't know what these things are for. I mean, you seem
So-
real hellbent on it, so I mean, do what you gotta.
So they begin to look at and focus on these items as you pull them out, and you release them to them, and you watch as waves of energy and strange geometric patterns begin to buffet these things, and then they take form and
Hey.
begin to float around. And there is an obvious battle of magical power going on between the robe and the mask and the two creatures.
Um, um, does it look like one of them is struggling at all?
It looks like the mask and the robe are basically fighting for its life.
Oh.
The two creatures don't seem to be worried by it.
Oh, okay. Then I'm not gonna inspire either of them.
This goes on for about 3 minutes, and they destroy it.
Hey, good
You
job,
guys are all at the point of light, at which point in time you see a glowing cylinder of pulsing energy, and you can now all see each other.
After they destroyed the items.
No, just when you
Just
arrive
the
within
guys
the
bring it
light
closer.
of the thing.
Oh, okay.
But you all come from different directions. Even though you could hear each other talking and it sounded like you were right by one another, you come from different directions. So you've walked about 15 minutes opposite,
Coming
you know,
from the land down under.
I'll just tell them
with a
I'm
Vegemite sandwich.
I'm fine, I guess. You guys do what you gotta. I'm gonna hang out with the fish people until they let me go.
Do we?
I mean, if I can see everyone, I'm not leaving. I'm not like
Alright.
peacing out.
Can we
without
see
everyone else.
Jeff?
You cannot see Jeff.
So we can see everybody but Jeff.
Yep.
Oh. Well, I'm still not leaving until I know everyone's rounded up.
but I can still see Jeff.
You at this point can no longer see Jeff. No.
Well, because he's too far away.
Yes, because he ran off in a different direction when you poked him and he got scared.
The light that we are walking towards,
Mm-hmm.
are we able to, like, did we get closer to the light, or is
The light is the cylinder thing. You guys
okay,
are
okay.
at the light.
Like a
And how
bug
big is
zapper.
it?
It's
How
big.
big is it?
It's like 15 feet tall and 8 feet around.
Did you call it a bug zapper?
I did.
Did.
Can while this is happening, can we ask Jeff to ask them where we are?
Yeah, you can.
Sure, I'll ask where we are.
They tell you that you are in the Crystal Sea.
We're in the Crystal Sea.
No, you're in the Crystal Sea.
I'm in the Crystal Sea.
It sounds like they are standing outside of a flux point.
As in the granite backs.
Yes.
You guys are fine. I'm in the Crystal Sea. You're at a flux point?
Flux point.
Flux point, and I'm being held by some terrifying fish monster thing.
It corrects you. It says that they're not fish, nor are they monsters.
I'm being held by something that's being pedantic.
So it's your worst nightmare.
Yes. Can
Lots
I?
of other
I'm just gonna.
questions
I'm
that
just
Ryan
gonna
would
ask.
ask in this
Can I?
situation,
Can
but
I
Ryan is
go?
also disappointed that Ryan is disappointed in Jeff's assessment of the situation.
Jeff is not okay. He doesn't like things that are touching him when he can't
Jeff's
do anything
never
about it.
okay.
No, I'm a hot mess. I'm gonna ask it if I can go. Can I leave? Can you put me down? Why are you holding me?
They're curious.
What do you want to know?
Where did you come from?
I
Give him the song.
Where
Cat
did you
Night
go?
Joe.
Where did you
I-
come from? Where did it go?
I would tell it that I came from. What was the name of the place we were headed? The keep.
Kathmandu.
I don't think we knew of a name of this place.
The land we were in. What was the land we were in?
You're in
The land was in
Balanovia.
I will tell it that I came from Balanovia, from some magical Weave Guardian keep.
Oh, okay. Well, somebody at this point needs to invite you in and make you breakfast. But that's the next lines of the song.
Gotcha. So yeah, I will tell it that I come from, or I came here from Balanovia and a Weave Guardian keep.
There it is.
There it is. So you watch these two creatures look at each other, and energy starts to flow between their eyeball.
Oh, that's good.
And then you hear back in your head that we have heard of these places.
That's where we're from. I mean, originally I'm from the Southern Kern Empire, and I don't Granite Back Keep.
They have not heard of Granite Back Keep yet.
I am offended.
I will herald the Granite Backs.
This means we're not trying hard enough yet. The entire universe does not know about us.
I will.
No,
I
it just
will.
means that we haven't been infamous enough.
Right.
Yes.
You guys, my apartment is so uncomfortable.
Oh.
Why?
Everything about it is just uncomfortable.
You
The
should have.
couch,
You should have saved a comfy chair for yourself.
no, I hate chairs.
Oh.
We have
Well.
so many chairs. You don't even know. My storage unit is 10 by 25, and a third of it is chairs. Like, why do we have all these chairs? And I should have saved like my rolling desk chair. That would have been a good one to save, but it's in Indiana.
All right. Do I feel like I can herald the Granite Backs, tell of who they are, where they come from?
Sure. Performance check. You know how this works.
Oh, I have an actual thing for it now. It didn't help, but I have it, and that's still an 18. That's really good for me. Usually
That's-
roll a 1.
That is really
Oh
good
wait.
for him.
Maybe if you spelled it right, that would start off in a better position.
Hey, listen
Also,
here.
it's-
Heraldry is a really hard word to spell.
18
yeah,
isn't
but it's
really
not-
good when it's plus
it's not-
15.
Hurdlery. Hurdlery is what you spelled.
Oh, I really can't spell hair.
I'm gonna spell it for you.
Just keep
Dre.
saying hair more. Hair. Spell
Herald.
it hair.
How do you spell
Herald.
That's how you
herald?
spell it. That's how you spell
Hey,
it.
I was close. All the letters are there. Here,
Yeah, but
I'll
not
try
in
again.
any kind of.
You don't get to try again.
What? No, I spelt it right this time. No, but with the 18, I can't roll less than a 10 on a performance.
How come?
Because
Because I am a bard of eloquence.
he's a hurdlery.
Hurdle. I'm a hurdy-gurdy. I'm a
Because he realized how bad he was at.
I am a hurdy-gurdy, silver tongue,
All right, that's cool. So you
w-
basically get reliable talent on your.
but only on
Performance.
charisma, persuasion, performance, or deception.
That's cool. All right, so it's a 25 then. They are very interested in these granite backs. They communicate with each other again through that energy wave that you've watched happen, and they ask where your granite backs are now.
Buy
Well,
a
they know. Never mind. They know where they are.
buy a flux capacitor.
They ask you if they can meet them.
I will ask my lords if they are willing to meet. How should I herald you fellas?
They give you some unpronounceable names.
Ooh, I probably won't be able to do it well, but I have the universal speech if needs be.
I think with universal speech, you would probably be able to repeat them perfectly.
But the guys
But
won't
the-
understand it.
The guys won't understand it. They are very long names.
I would like to do it only to impress these guys that I can actually say their names.
Okay.
So I will herald. I will. Can I use that other role for heralding these fellas to the
Sure.
granite backs?
No. You should roll a heralding check for these guys to see if it's any better than what you normally do just for us.
I hate you. Why do you do this to me?
Well, to be fair, that's what the other roll was. It
The-
was better than what he normally rolls.
Way better. An 11 is 10 better than what I normally roll for you guys. So yeah, I'll.
So
Whatever. It works.
they want permission to visit the granite backs.
Yeah, I will herald these guys and ask the granite backs if they're willing to take an audience with these guys. And do they have a title? Do they have a role that they would like to relinquish?
In your knowledge base, the term primordial aboleth will do.
Okay.
Oh Lord. This is even worse.
I just did this to Adam on Monday. Did he tell you? Is that why I'm getting
No.
this? Okay.
No.
Adam got seduced by an aboleth this last Monday, the Monday before that. So yeah, I will. Yeah, that's happening. So there you go, guys. Here's our new friends, Herdy and Gertie. And there was this thing, and then there's the 26 to introduce the granite backs. Do you guys want to meet them? They know everything about you, and it's kind of my fault.
I mean, if they can do anything about us being at this flux point instead of where you are.
Not a clue. However, it does have me in its tentacles, so
Well,
I'm
you
kind
could
of,
ask since you're the one that knows that you're in the Crystal Sea and we're at a flux point.
yeah. They're being a little aloof. It doesn't sound like they're opposed to meeting you. However, they seem to be
I don't think they're the ones that are being a little aloof about the
reticent.
situation.
I think the word's reticent. They're being reticent about meeting you. Something about whether or not you're helpful.
I mean, if we're helpful or not is besides the point, because we're definitely
No, not you. I'm speaking to them about you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're not.
So they
We've been given reason to be cautious a lot lately. We did just almost get eaten by an astral dreadnought, so that's kind of a big deal.
they look at each other like it is the first time you've seen them engage in, I guess, what would best be described as humanoid style, like mannerisms and behavior. You recognize this exchange as a bit of
Uncomfortable?
What did you say?
Oh,
Well,
we don't know. He's gone. He did the thing where he yeets himself out a window.
Oh man, I looked up and Andy was gone also.
Yeah, Andy wandered
All
off.
sorts of everyone disappearing.
No, that's so funny because I just readjusted all my screens so they'd be perfectly where I wanted them, and then it decided to crash on me.
That's probably what did it.
I was gonna ask if Jeff could horridly
Horridly. The word is pronounced horridly.
I don't know what that
I was
word
gonna
means.
ask if you could do that instead, because that sounds like a way better idea.
Yeah, his middle name is Harold. That's good. You just have to sound it up. Why is everybody picking on me? Anyway, so yeah, I would.
You're literally the only person that can control the flow of the story. At this point.
I can't control it at all. We're
Yes,
in
you are.
we're in the Weave Guardian arc. Only the Weave Guardian can do that.
What's a Weave Ardian? I don't know.
Dang
what an
it.
Ardian is.
I said the G. It's just silent.
Is that like abjuration?
Yes, it's like abjurations. I didn't hear what you said as far as their
Did
humanoid
you say
interaction.
Did you say abjurations? Like
Yes.
multiple of them?
Yeah,
Yes,
multiples.
It is the first humanoid emotion like that you can kind of read on their very alien-like faces, and it is uncomfortability. They look uncomfortable by the fact that you just said you fought you defeated an astral dreadnought,
Yep, we
and
sure
they
did.
ask you where.
Right outside the keep on the Prime, in a pond. It was an island.
Okay.
It
They
tried to eat our ship.
they do something. Your ship?
Yeah, it tried to eat our ship.
What ship?
Our boat. Our ship.
Oh boy.
But it's okay, we fixed it. We're real good at that. The granite backs can fix anything.
Why would they eat a boat?
Well, I don't know. Is break better? I did say break. It tried to break our ship.
You may roll a deception or persuasion check for the information that you are attempting to hide.
I was going to say, Jeffrey did say break our ship. He didn't say eat.
I know, but you are very purposely avoiding mentioning Fosragul.
That's true. I am doing that. 29.
You feel them in your brain looking for more information because then they
Nope.
think
I will cut them
that's
off. Don't touch my
interesting.
brain parts. I don't like it. I'm going to cast Mind Blank on myself and forget Fosragul.
You took that too?
It's part of my robe. Not Mind Blank.
Oh,
Memory.
God.
Modify memory.
Oh, okay.
I feel them
think-
probing, and I'm just going to cast Modify Memory and forget
On
that
yourself?
Fosragul is something other than a ship.
You just noped out of this situation real fast.
Yeah. No me gusta.
You,
They started
here's
touching
what
my
you
brain parts. Nobody
Here's
touches
what
your
you
brain
did.
parts.
you are the spy that just broke the cyanide capsule in his tooth.
Well, here's the problem with modify memory. It is only a memory that has happened within the last 24 hours. So you would forget what
Oh,
has
is it?
happened recently, but you would still remember Fosragul.
Because he's been with us for months.
Yeah.
Long time.
Huh. I'm going to politely ask them to stay out of my brain. I'll try that first.
Okay. They actually back off and they apologize. They are unaware of your customs and they work often with creatures whose failure to communicate is an inability for them to articulate concepts and words beyond their intelligence. And they just assumed you didn't know how to communicate.
It's because I did a bad job of heralding. I understand. It's common.
It's because you're a meat sack.
Yeah.
It's because you can't spell Harold.
Negative. I am a meat popsicle.
I am unhappy with what you just said. Yeah, so I will continue on the course of statement I had that it tried to break our ship, and we broke it.
Okay. They would let you know that this concerns them greatly.
Yeah, it concerned us too. I don't think those things are supposed to be there. Didn't we were in the drift, right? We've been in the Astral
Mhm.
Sea.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know that that's where they belong.
Well, you never really encountered a dreadnought. And
Right.
you didn't get like a whole schooling on everything that lives out in the astral sea.
I thought that was
So
one of the things we were warned about was astral dreadnoughts, though, by the
It might have been.
steampunk ship lady.
I mean, possibly.
I
Mike,
don't
your
remember.
camera's
but
off.
It just definitely is possible. Oh, it is, isn't it? Okay.
But I don't know if.
Yeah.
I think the only person who would have access to knowledge that Astro Dreadnoughts can't be on the Prime is
Right.
me, and
Okay.
I don't know if I ever would have.
Care to know?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I would just let it know that it concerned us too because it tried to break our ship.
They are also amazed that you managed to defeat it. They ask you if it was wounded. Was it dying?
I don't
We even
know. I know
don't
that
know.
we definitely scared it. Oh, I don't know if that counts, but would I have been able to tell if it was wounded? Thinking back on it,
Can he recall with a 20 like the condition of the astral dreadnought?
I mean, to be fair, we did jump on its forehead. We could have known if it was already
It
breathing
did.
heavily.
It did seem to have some latent mental disorders.
I mean, don't we all?
Yeah.
Is Jeffrey able to peer into its nervous system to properly identify like its state of condition?
I would like to. I'm trying to go with the braggadociousness here of if I knew it was broken, I'd like to not know that it was broken and brag that we fought a full health one.
You don't recall. The creature is just too foreign to you.
Yep. So I will just say it was at full power.
Okay.
I will braggadociously speak to them.
You pick up the next hint of meatbag emotions, and that is the kind of emotion a parent has when their toddler says they did something real good, and the parent doesn't want to yell at the toddler for doing something dumb, but instead pats them on the head. That's nice. That's so nice.
We didn't take its head, right? We weren't able to because that thing warped its way into
Yeah,
oblivion.
It disappeared. Yeah, it blinked
Okay.
or
Yep.
something.
Either
weird.
way, they are now even more urgently interested in meeting the
Yep.
entirety of the Granite Back crew.
So I'll go back to the granite backs in my brain and say, guys, they really seem to want to meet. I don't know if these guys are helpful, but they're kind of impressed by you. Not me,
Stuck at
you.
a point. Stuck at a flux
You were
point.
there too, Jeff.
Yeah, if you guys want to come back. No, it's not that they're not impressed with. Apparently, they don't believe me that you guys killed a dreadnought. So you might want to come in here
No.
and prove to them that you killed
You
it.
also killed the dreadnought.
I think I'm
No,
actually
here
the one that
is-
killed it, but we're not going to split hairs.
Can't actually get to you or see.
I don't
you.
remember who actually got the killing blow.
Just.
How I'm going to ask these guys how they come here. How do those guys come to us? How do they come here?
They say they'll go to them.
Oh yeah, hey, they're coming. Good luck.
Can you also come with them?
If they let me. Otherwise, I'll walk towards the light like I was.
Nope, they're gonna bring. Well, you'd be walking towards the darkness.
Sure.
That's because that's.
I'm going
that's
to
the
ask
way-
them if I should not be invisible anymore if it's bad.
It's not
Hey.
bad.
Do you
Okay.
have the spell Magic Missile?
Me, no.
No, that's
Oh,
unfortunate.
you should shoot
This
it
would be
into
the
the
perfect time
darkness.
for it.
Sure would.
I will ask them if it's bad that I go into the darkness or if I should go into the light.
No, they said it's the same
Oh, just why does it look different to me? What's up with
because
that?
you're invisible.
Oh, it's never made my vision different before. This place is weird.
Have you ever cast invisibility while in the astral wake?
No.
There
Wait,
you go.
have I? I don't actually know
No,
if I have.
you've never been there.
Sure.
Well,
Is that where I am
You've
now?
never even heard of a place called the Wake.
Oh.
You know that the sea is actual space.
Yep.
That the drift is the planar part of space.
Yep.
You've never heard of the Wake.
I guess I'd ask them what that is once we get to the granite backs. Meet the granite backs, then explain to them what the wake is.
They just simply tell you to turn off your invisibility.
Okay, done.
Okay, so you plummet to the not
Oh.
seeable ground, land on your noggin a little bit, not
Yep.
real far, and
Good.
you're right by everybody else. And then walking out of the flux point are two lawn gnomes.
Yes.
I mean, you've all seen gnomes,
This gets better by the minute.
but these guys are like storybook, big red hats, long beards
Yes.
dragging on the ground, blue shirt, red pants, gnomes, and they wave.
Do they have the hats?
Yeah, big red
Oh
hats.
my
No,
gosh. Oh my
they're
god.
not wearing a
Thank you for finding the most awkward picture of one.
whatever. I was gonna say a unitard, but it's not. It's worse. It really what it is. It's a speedo that's not around his hips.
Yep.
He's turned it into
Yep.
a shoulder strap.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And they wave at you, and they were told that their form. The impression they got from Jeff is that their form was disturbing, so they picked something that would not disturb you.
They are really bad at this game.
Jeffrey is calm. He is okay with lawn gnomes.
That is such a lie.
They are
What-
they're
are
on
they
my
the
level.
size of lawn gnomes?
Oh, there's a good
Yeah,
question.
they're like a foot tall.
That's what he said.
I'm in. Jeff's okay with this. They're shorter than he is. He trusts anybody shorter than him.
I will sit on the ground dwarven style. It's like Indian style, but with dwarves.
Can you
Everything
even
in me wants
cross
to
those
start to
meaty
explain
legs?
the
I don't
Jeff
think
Mitchell to
dwarves
them.
can sit like that.
Can
I don't
dwarves
think-
cross their
But
legs?
That's why I said it's like it, but dwarven.
He's
don't
just got
think
his legs
their
out
joints-
straight instead of
Yeah,
crossed.
Their
that's all it
joints
is.
don't bend that
That's all
much.
it is. It's just
Just
legs
man
straight.
spreading.
Yeah.
No, you're sitting at a 90-degree angle. Your feet are straight out. And you're like, "Brr."
It's
You should-
perfectly geometrically 90. Because that's how dwarves work. Everything's
so you sit
geometrical.
down like that, and then they sit down like that.
I'm pulling out the
That's
chair.
how you should sit down.
I'm pulling out the chair.
Like I sat down specifically so that I could like be on their level. Like with kids, like you don't want to
Yeah.
like stand up straight. You want to like get down to their level. That's what I was trying to do. So I just continued trying to get down
Yeah.
further.
I'm gonna pull out the Elder's rocking chair and let's see. Who's gonna sit
Is
in
that
it?
is that something we legitimately carry around with us?
It's in the bag of holding. Why wouldn't we?
How does it get in the bag of holding?
We put it in there.
Have you
I think
tried-
it's too wide.
Yeah, how do you put a rocking chair in
I mean,
a bag?
a medium-sized
bag.
creature can go in there. Why can't the bag?
Yeah, because you slip the medium-sized creature in like torpedo style.
I mean,
Yeah.
we fit some furniture through some doors. I'm just saying. I
Yes,
honestly
but it
don't
doesn't-
know what this thing looks like.
The
So
bag of holding doesn't have the opening size of a door frame.
then you've been using it wrong.
I feel like you've been using it wrong.
It definitely would fit in a portable hole, but you don't have access to
All
one of
right.
those guys.
Well, I'm not pulling out the rocking chair. Then forget it.
I'm pretty
Well,
sure the
pull out
rocking
the-
chair is at the keep.
Yeah, pull out the portable hole from the bag.
That's not in there. That we don't do that. That's a bad. Don't do that.
So, they ask you to clarify some of the things that Jeffrey said. They're like your meatbag Harold has told us a great number of stories. Would you please clarify?
Matt would be happy to clarify.
Yeah, sure. Which story should we start with?
They're interested in any that you're willing to offer, but they are particularly interested in your encounter with the Dreadnought.
Matt will start recounting some of the information.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you tell them about Fazragul?
No.
We don't even tell like our own guild members about Fazragul. Why would
That's
we tell strangers?
100% true.
Your guild members do all know about Fazragul.
Right, but not because we told them.
Yeah, it's not because we talk about him.
Nobody talks about him. You just-
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like
He's-
Fight Club.
It's like
He's
Fight
the Steven Tyler of our,
Yeah.
or the Tyler
Fair.
Durden. He's the Tyler
right.
Durden of our keep.
I totally want him to be Steven Tyler as well, though.
Yes. Just
He's just sailing through the air going,
Yeah.
and he's shooting things with his lasers just across
Yep.
the countryside for no good
Yep.
reason.
Oh
Yep.
my
He's
god.
got his own light show.
he's taken so many drugs, guys. I mean, we have gotten him drunk. That's fair.
This is why you don't introduce Illithid to humans.
You
Steven
guys
Tyler is an
mentioned
illithid.
your boat, and it's a flying boat, which isn't unheard of. They're from the astral wake, so they're familiar with flying ships. You recount to them some of your stories. Mav, they tell you you're not nearly as good at speaking as Jeff.
I would
But-
apologize for
Straight
my
flex.
exhaustion. The last couple of days has been overwhelming.
Oh, they want to know if you would like some help with that.
I would love some help with that.
You get tentacled in the mouth.
Oh,
It just kind of shoots out of their face, like not their mouth. It just appears like maybe cheekbone like height, and just plugs in, and you start to get pumped full of a fluid.
are you pregnant?
I've seen this.
Good grief.
This is not the doorknob monster, but I really want to make a doorknob. I think I just did. No, it is definitely like an octopod tentacle, but you feel instantly refreshed, and then it retracts the tentacle.
And you feel
Unless you're gonna
instantly
spit it
tired.
out. sorry.
Mav, you
I
need
am
to swallow.
definitely spitting it out.
Oh, okay.
Winners swallow.
I thought that was
Yeah.
I thought that was implying that you. Yeah, I thought that was the
I
other
mean,
way.
you have the option to not be injected by the tentacle. Do you want the exhaustion vaccine?
Yes.
I feel like this is Galaxy Quest when
Right?
yeah.
Yes.
This, it's probably not all that different at this moment. Without the sexual tension that is inherent in don't mean it to go that way, it just does. I think it's everybody's junior high grin that starts to creep up. You just can't. Mav,
Spirit of Laura Bailey lives in all of us.
you gain the benefits of a long rest. So
You still feel dirty about it.
Absolutely.
yep.
Can
okay.
I?
Pink.
Do you know that happened, Mav? Do you know if we have that as an option?
I think we
I
all
know
saw
I
that
instantly
happen.
feel better, and that I can cast some spells again.
Um,
I was like, give it to me, I'll take it.
no, Jeff does not like this idea. They were already in his brain once. I will ask them what they just did to Mav. Did we see this? Did we see them tentacle his throat hole?
Yeah, absolutely. You would have seen that. They would explain to you that they have a secretion that greatly helps in the speed of healing and restoration of humanoid creatures. It was very beneficial to them with their minions when building their empire
I
beyond
have
time.
an awful idea. I have an awful idea, and I need to know if you guys are okay with it. I would
Before
like.
I want to hear what you have to say, but before
Yeah.
you say it, I think we have to pursue that train of thought that they just said more later.
What did they just say?
Could you repeat it, please?
That it is a restorative secretion that they would give to their minions eons ago when the minions were building their empire.
And the last part?
What did I say?
I think that was the last part.
Beyond time.
Oh yeah, beyond time.
I would like to offer these guys a drink.
Contract?
No, a drink.
Oh,
The mind back in time drink that you guys, and we should all have a drink together.
I think that is a.
Oh, don't they-
extremely
Let them
bad
enjoy.
idea.
Yes,
Why we
yes,
let
did you
Foz
not
do it?
just-
Why can't we let these guys?
Did
Okay,
you
I
not
am
say
going to
that they-
remind you that
I don't
doing it
think
with
Foz-
Melander was a good experience. It played out for you, but it did almost kill you.
Who?
Yeah, we didn't let Fazergul have that.
No, but we've had a dwarven drinking
We-
escapade with him.
We have gotten drunk with Fazergul. No, we're not giving him any
Okay.
of these guys the.
I'll ask them if I can have it without the tentacle, or if it's something that can only be administered via tentacle.
Can
They could-
Can they pour it into a cup?
They look at each other and they start gnome laughing, like high pitched giggling, and they're like, "Why do they always ask us to not? It's so unnatural to drink out of a device," and they just don't understand it. They will abide by your
How long is it good for when it's not in you?
not good. It needs to basically come like straight from them within moments.
Yeah, I'll put some in a cup and take it that way. I definitely don't want it injected.
And they're like, and they say this is the reason your civilization can't evolve.
You're probably right.
This is it.
Halflings have been the same for millennia.
You just make everything uncomfortable.
No,
Make it weird, Jeff. You make it weird.
It's Jeff's fault. Jeff makes it weird.
Yep. Jeff makes it weird.
Jeff's just like, I've been to Zinji. I've seen this movie.
That was not okay. Because they're Chinese.
Uh-huh.
No, they're a mix.
It's
They're just
it's
a
Eastern
generic
enough.
East Asian. Okay, so cup it is. Anybody else want some resto juice?
Um,
How do you
Danik
want it?
Sure.
just
Othig is fine
smiles
with
and
it.
says, "No, I'm already seeing somebody. Thank you."
And they're like, so nope. See, weird, but Othig, you can
They are
have.
gonna drink with us though, right?
They. Well, here's the deal. This is what I was getting at. If you give them the super juice and you share your mind with them, you're probably gonna die.
I don't know if we want to give them super juice, but we can
Oh,
probably just
that's
get
not good.
regular dwarf drunk
Yeah.
with them.
When you got drunk with Molander on this stuff, it took intelligence saving throws just to retain your sanity because of all the things that he knew.
Yeah.
Molander's an idiot.
Right. We could just do regular drunken dwarf party with them though,
I
and have
still think that's something we should.
They want to know
hold
about
off on.
us. Can we have it be a one-way thing if they just want to know about us? Can we get drunk with them? So we don't get the brain thoughts, but they get the ones they want from us without having to
I
get.
don't think so. I think it's a two-way street.
All right, guys, let's get drunk with the aboleths.
No.
Okay, I tried. Primordial aboleths. This is
Okay.
terrifying.
So, sure, Anna, you sure you don't want to shake of the tentacle?
Yeah.
Oh wait, that means we get a long rest, eh?
It does. It does. Danak does not.
Can you give it to just us? Is that a
I
thing?
can't.
You
You'll have to
can give it to
manually do it.
everybody. You can get to everybody, and I'll just reset myself.
Here's
Okay.
what we're gonna do. I'm going to cast Beacon of Hope, and then I'm going to use the
It's-
healer's kit for Thanik.
I think if you right-click on us somewhere, you can. I just don't remember where.
Sure. Maybe.
I think it's on
Probably.
our hit dice. If you right-click on our max health or something, but
And then
it doesn't matter.
Danak's sheet is pretty easy to reset.
Yeah,
manually.
he's not
I've
as
already. Yeah,
messed
I've
up as
already.
I am.
Yeah. He doesn't have a million spell slots and other junk.
Yeah.
Right.
And then Mav's gonna start healing up Danak.
Thank you.
Yeah, they don't seem offended by that. They just think it's strange that
You don't want their.
yeah.
I'll cast 8 spells because he won't take some jizz down the throat.
Why are you like this?
Oh man.
That's on the recording forever.
That's
We
great.
can't get rid of that.
Yep, that's there. Oh, that's totally there. So you guys hang out with them, and they you exchange some information. You have told them the story about how you came to be here. They let you know that you are nowhere near your destination. Or where you
Way to
wanted
go,
to be.
Thanok.
So, would we be able to? Well, I guess the conversation. So I would be okay with regaling them with stories.
Mm-hmm.
um, um, not necessarily like secrets or anything like that. Specifically, like with Roswell, obviously. Um, but this would all come down to we were doing a rescue mission, and on the way we fought an astral dreadnought, and then we got in here, and then fought the star spawn, and then an entity asked me a juvenile riddle, and we ended up here. Do they have any?
Wasn't
Insight.
juvenile. It was well plotted out by your DM a long time ago. It wasn't juvenile at all.
if it ended up as a penis joke,
Yeah, that's juvenile.
then it's juvenile.
My side of it didn't become a penis joke until
until
much later.
By the way, Mike, this is totally off the record.
What?
Finko is Adahorn is hilarious. Okay, I don't care what any of them didn't find funny, that is hilarious.
I was regaling them with the fact that you told that joke, and I heard Connor respond to it. I don't care if Finko is at a horn, and I was like, did they all miss the Ace Ventura joke that just happened? And I was really upset.
Yeah. Like
Fin-
I don't know who Finko is. I don't know anything about any of that. I just know that you probably spent a lot of time crafting that joke and probably none of them got it. He's like, "Yep."
It's all right.
anyways, do they have any insight into what kind of entity would have brought us here?
There are millions of trickster style entities that would use a joke like that or a trap like that. If you don't have any better insight, their guess is it's a shot in the dark.
So the
You
question,
would you could if you as characters have insight and you want to say because it's already been mentioned that you think it was the Slod and tell them the story about the Slod, then that might change their response. But if you don't tell them that, then they really don't have a lot to go on because it could be a lot of things.
I
I
think
mean
it's the
that
slot.
the only connection we would have had is that slot, but I don't know necessarily if that's even an accurate thing.
I would be willing to say by the way the voice started saying doorknob over and over again that
Sure.
your
Like, even
guess at
Othig knows it
Slod
was him.
Well,
is
no, I just my thought on it is, are slots even?
Like, regardless if it's true or not, Othig knows it was him.
Yeah. No, I mean, because that's the very first thought is when you hear all these doorknob, it's a slot. I don't know
No,
if
that
Manic would
slot, that particular slot.
that's very specific. No, but
Oh yeah.
The
so
doorknob
Manic, I
slot.
definitely bring it up, but I don't know how plausible that actually even
it's
is.
actually pretty plausible even though Slot are chaotic and they communicate in a very bizarre fashion. They're very intelligent.
Okay.
So they're
Terrifyingly
just
so.
they're they're very capable spellcasters and shapeshifters. This is all this type of stuff you would have learned about them probably after encountering them
Sure. Okay.
from other people. That in the higher up the less color they have, the more dangerous and smart they are
Okay.
because they go from
Oh,
bright colors to more dull colors to the highest form of Slod that isn't like a Slod overlord being is a death Slod, and they are almost colorless.
okay.
Okay, so these things basically can translate when communication is basically impossible. So if they've had any encounters with slots, I'd be willing to bet that they were able to understand them just fine. So
Oh
A,
yeah, definitely.
is that the case with these two? And B, would they be able to understand what doorknob translates to?
Um, when you're hearing words, obviously there is no correlation between what word you're hearing in your language and the Slod's emotion. But a
Right.
word you hear has to do with more with an emotion or a feeling than it does the actual verbiage. So if you tell them the story and if they tell you that the last thing you heard this Slod screaming at you as it drifted out into space was doorknob, it's probably angry at you, and it is using that word as a vehicle to communicate anger.
Good. I just wanted that to be. I just wanted that on the record.
That you made it angry by
Yeah.
banishing it.
I just wanted to hear you say it. Really.
And
So
so they do believe your presupposition that it is was the Slod based on that is a very accurate.
Slam dunk.
Yeah.
so do we think, based on less our interactions with Slot and more their interactions with them, do we think this is more of a just chaotic send them anywhere, or specifically send us here?
Is Slaughter are a very unique creature. Like most things when they're chaotic, chaos is a very bad word to describe most things that just enjoy lawlessness.
Mhm.
Chaos is and it's a fine interpretation for that. In the slod, chaos is so directly opposite of lawfulness that it is almost
It's
lawfulness.
its own sense of order.
It is its own sense of weird justice and purpose and intention, and it is very likely that they sent you here so that you would either never be seen again, or that this is where it ended up when you banished it, and it's
Okay.
returning the favor.
Alright.
Thanak, do you want me to send a message to your friend so he doesn't get worried that we're not there yet?
Um. Yeah, if you have a sending spell, it might not actually make it.
Yeah, well, I was prepared. It's there. We're good.
Hey, Mike, did we get a chance to hear more about their kingdom beyond time yet?
You have not yet.
So I'll send a message, says, hey, it's that expert Jeff. He got us sent to the astral wake. The primordial obelisk got us covered. Don't worry, we'll be there shortly. 25 words.
Now, you've been told that Moreland is a man of eloquence, knows how to communicate well, and all you get back is, okay, hurry.
That's the only one I get.
I
No,
just I
he
just
would.
want to.
That's how it would start, and then he would say, "We were attacked inside of the ward by a shape-changing monstrosity.
Yeah.
Jenica is dead."
How fond of Jenica is Thanak?
Fairly.
Okay. I am going to try and break that news as gently as possible. Very un-Jeff-like. But I want to try and maintain my, so he doesn't just start asking questions before I'm able to figure out how to...
Performance.
Yeah, I was afraid of that. That's a... I can't roll under a 10.
25.
Ah,
25.
what's up with the threes tonight?
I'm having a rough night.
Well, playing with the brands, it was twos, or was it the bards?
It was the
It was the
bar
brands.
brands,
Crystal
Crystal.
started it. Good lord.
Yeah, so I will
Like half of our rolls were twos.
inform him of what I was just told in a way that I do not feel would hamper his emotional state too much.
You failed.
Hey man, Tony failed. Jeff rolled a
Jeff just
25.
walks-
It's
Jeff
still a
walks up with Thanak,
25.
Still,
slaps him on the face and be like, Jenica's
If-
dead.
if
with
your attempt to tell me that one of my closest friends is dead and have no emotional impact, you failed.
No. I want it to be in a way where you're still going to be useful today.
Jeff tells him
That's
and then
a-
casts
that's-
mind blank.
Those are
I told
irrelevant.
you.
Those are unconnected.
Thanak will let the anger drive him.
I'll just say we were too late.
And it just says okay.
One of them is perished. Hey, Aboleths, can you
Yes.
get us where we need to go?
Of course.
I would actually properly refer to them by their names. Tony
They are.
just
I
knows he
forgot
can't.
to mention this before. Because of your ability, they are beyond impressed with that.
Okay.
Like, they tell you that your ability to use their own language, even though you're not really good at using language itself,
Yeah.
the fact that you can recreate without accent their names is flabbergasting.
I am unique. Actually, I would mention where I was trained in Zinji.
Hmm.
I would give credit where credit is due to my
They are
ability
aware
to
of
do
the
so.
place.
And I don't remember the master that I worked under, but I would give credit where credit is due to the individual that trained me.
They are definitely aware of the place.
So, I would ask them if they have the ability or if they know of a way for us to get to where we were attempting to go, a pocket dimension guarded by a ward that the Weave Guardians created, or how we can get back to where we came from.
They definitely can help you with that problem. They can get you back to where you came from.
Okay.
They tell you they could put you in the pocket dimension, but you might be addled by the trip.
We don't want to
Because-
be in the pocket dimension because
We can't get out
somebody
then.
on the
Then you
outside
can't get back out. Also, that is also true. I wasn't going to drop that. That was for you to remember in case you wanted to risk the addledness. And this is how the granite backs die.
Yep,
Alone in a room.
crazy.
Yep.
So yeah,
But they can get you back to the room that you were sent from.
wonderful. This place that we are, is there a benefit to being here?
Not for your kind. They explain to you that you are on the very edge of the expanding creation. You are riding the wave of creation.
So
That-
why do these guys hang out here?
Because this is where they were created to be.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's the long and short of it. That's
Yep.
That's it. And at one point in time, when creation was small, this answers Ryan's question too. Before, when creation was still energy, before the prime, before time and space, they built a kingdom here, but it was not to be permanent. And so the first created beings aided them in building that, and then they sided with the deceiver and were cast down.
So they know who their creators are.
Yes.
and they
And they talk about how a good chunk of them personally, the aboleths, were cast down as well.
So did these guys themselves personally choose the deceiver?
No, they did not. The created beings did.
Gotcha.
Yeah, not the aboleths.
Gotcha.
Not these ones, anyways.
Right.
Several of them did.
Yeah.
But not these ones.
Yeah,
So-
we're pretty sure we broke the guy that took over after him too. That happened.
So here's the thing that I am torn between wanting to hear more of this.
Yeah.
And none of this matters to me right now.
Right. That's kind of real talk. With my performance, could I hold off on telling Thanak until I feel like he is satisfied in this space? Knowing Thanak's desire to know knowledge, I know he would probably be mad at me later, but given the knowledge and what I know it would do, and how much it would hamper his ability to truly gain multiverse knowledge right now, would I be able to keep that knowledge from him temporarily?
I'm gonna go
I
with
will-
no, maybe.
Yeah, I will add this that you know this about Thanik. Knowledge is wonderful and amazing, but its only purpose is to help the people he cares about.
Right, but I also know that you can't help somebody who's dead.
Yes, but the others aren't yet.
And Moreland definitely asked you to hurry.
Oh, I forgot
was-
that part. I forgot about the
I was
hurry part.
gonna-
Nope, you're right. I forgot about the
I
hurry
was
part.
actually going to ask if,
And
since you know that, if you could ask them if there's anything that they could do about that for us.
About a dead person?
Maybe something related to the timing of that happening and us being able to get there before it happens.
They have
I don't know if they can do that
They have very little control over time anymore.
anymore. They used to.
Yes. They say that well, it's relative to how far away from the place they are. Like
Oh.
out here on the wake, that's not a problem. They could send you all back to the moment you showed up, and they could enjoy this conversation with you over again, and maybe get extra information out of you. And they kind of look at Jeffrey, like they don't think Mav lied to them because Mav was just telling a story and doing a mediocre job of it. But they're pretty sure that Jeff lied to them.
Yeah.
Or at least hid stuff from them. But they're like, to send you back there, they could attempt to do so, but it might have consequences.
Right.
What-
As-
If you wanted to, they could try.
I
As-
would like to ask them if he could, if they have any diamond dust he could purchase off of them. Before we
They would agree to a trade.
Oh, that's great.
That they would say that things out here don't really have value other than the value that those who trade ascribe to them, and that is what they value.
I
So if
would
they were
offer information.
well,
Like-
no, They're basically saying they understand that for you to barter, if they are going to give you something, you need to give them something that's worthy of a barter,
Sure.
of that barter. For yeah. So I guess to some degree, information is useful.
I
They have a
guess
pretty good knowledge of the universe and how it works, so it'd have to be something good.
Have we picked up on if they can hear our berries bond?
They have not acted as if they can or not.
Okay.
so. I
I'm
would
going.
start by
We haven't really used it though. We're talking freely.
mentioning just a
Mav.
few of our escapades, such
Mhm.
as the Hells, the Dreadnoughts, the Red Rocks, all that fun stuff,
Mhm.
and offer questions that they would feel are equal to the value of the diamond dust, and I will give them an answer.
They are somewhat interested in what went on in the Hells. They are very interested in the Collector.
Okay. Kind of looks like you guys do
I'd be
right
willing to
now.
provide an answer.
Okay. They would basically ask you to, and they've picked up that you're in a hurry too. And so they want to be respectful of, they understand what it's like to lose people they care about, even though they're more timeless style beings, especially referencing since what we all just talked about with their existence and their origin, it brings up a sense of loss to them. So they would be respectful of Thanok's feelings at this moment. Um, they would be interested in what if the collector had anything that you may have thought was worthless but was very unusual, and you would be able to reference a few things
Tell them about
inside
me
of that.
looking through the list.
Yep, you're going through the list and you
Yeah.
list off some things, and they ask, they're fascinated that you were in his card catalog, and they ask if they could connect mentally with you and pull that information from you.
Oh yeah. On
I
one
would
condition
agree to. Oh, go ahead. Or with it.
that I know they said that this comes with some consequences. I'd want to know the consequences um, first, but that they agree to attempting to send us back to a time where we can either be more on time to save Jenica or have a chance of her not dying to be their timeline.
Okay.
You understand what I'm trying to get at?
Yep. They would say that the chance of success, and they're trying to communicate in a way that um, connects with you guys. They have a 75% chance of success, 24% chance of you guys ending up in a time period other than the one you're aiming for. About a not 0.99% chance of you guys ending up in a different plane, and a 0.01% chance of you guys being inside out.
We can fix that. We can.
Well,
We,
how
we
do you
can.
guys like those odds?
We can fix
I
inside out.
I would, jeez, I would communicate that to the group.
I'm
Well,
in.
they would have been told. You guys all would have heard
Yep.
this.
I'm in.
Oh, okay.
So they could try and get you back quicker,
Yeah.
but
Anyway,
it's risky.
so they told us and they're willing to do it. So I will give them the information that they wanted.
Okay. Yeah, a tentacle slides out, and Mav, you look through other cards. Are you gonna join in this? Okay.
Do they get to
And
keep
they
the
go.
knowledge, or does it go away?
Oh yeah, no, they
Okay.
get to keep it. They go to put it in your mouth, and then they remember you don't like that, and so they lay it across your temple, and they in a
Better.
second later, you feel your brain like twinge a little bit, and then it's gone, and they thank you for it, and they thank you much for it, and then they tell you that when you're done with your friends, a favor for them and something you need to do for yourselves is to go to the dwarven city of Euros and stop the many-faced lord.
Copy
And they
that.
warn you, friends of yours will be there. Do not help them. You have to stop the many-faced lord.
Copy that.
Whoa.
Okay.
We don't have a teleportation sigil for there. Do we? Do we
You
have
do
one
not.
for near there though?
Well,
don't
you would
we?
have one for the Mage's Tower, which
I was
is
just gonna say not far from
about
there.
4 hours south of the city.
Yeah.
Yep. So we can actually get to not far from there. Okay, cool that. These guys seem to be remarkably knowledgeable. Does it feel like they have? I don't know how to bring it up without without irritating them, but asking if they have any insight as to what the intent of the pentad would be. Because
They
I
are
have
aware.
that, and I have one more question.
They are aware of the pentad, and they say, having been around as long as they have, which is time beyond your actual comprehension, and they say a phrase that that kind of like when they say it, it awakens something in you for just a moment, like you've heard it before, and it makes so much sense. But knowing the things that you feel like no, that can't be true. They say all this has happened before, and all this will happen again. And so, and it's like it's just got this moment. It's almost like having an earworm song in your being, and then it's gone. They say that the pentad is attempting to rewrite creation in its own image. Um, every time they rise, it's different, and sometimes they have succeeded.
Are they? Do they have anything to do with the deceiver?
In a strange way, yes,
Okay, but they're
but
separate from him.
not directly. They are working in opposition to him, but they are still minions of him.
Gotcha. Okay. And then Jeffrey has and Tony has a question that wants to put to rest a fan theory. He's going to ask them very directly if the deceiver is in the garden, if it is the angel in the garden.
It is not.
I'm
But they're
so
like, man,
upset.
that's a good theory. And
So
had
upset.
Mike thought of it, it would have been.
All right, fair enough. Because I have been writing that one since we went there. Because I was like, that's where I'd put him. That is exactly because everything that angel told us to do, we did without question, and that'd be the perfect thing because everything we did is helping
Nope.
destruction.
Nope, that's a genuine celestial that volunteered to guard the garden for all eternity.
Both Jeff and Tony are sad.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I don't mean to make you sad,
Yeah.
but I thought the idea was truly inspired, but
You have other plans.
yeah, I have other plans. And other things have already happened around that I still could make it that, but it's just
Yeah,
it's rejiggering in a way that I don't want to. But yeah, that was a sweet idea. I did like it.
that's exactly where I'd put him. You want to see perfection? I'll let you live there until you can't anymore.
Right on.
Because that would
So
suck.
then the question is, do you want to go back at the proper time without incident, or do you want to risk the time travel?
Risk it for the biscuit, y'all.
What was the proper time? Like, how many days after Jennifer's death was that?
We just talked to Moreland.
Yeah, this would be like you'd go back right now in your time, and so you've been here probably an hour.
So she recently died.
Yeah, she was dead before you guys got to the keep.
Okay. So I would say that I could raise dead within 10 days if her soul is willing to return to the body.
Right. That's another thing is we're
And
screwing with
tolerate
that.
all that stuff.
That's also
Have no risk to us.
does
We could risk going back to attempt to save her.
right, but does being killed by a slod interfere with that?
Possibly.
Well, let's ask the aboleths.
It would say unlikely unless the Slod are working for a being that could hold her soul. And then they add, and they do often work for the many-faced Lord.
So, I say we risk it, because I mean we have no reason to believe that Jenica would be unwilling to be raised, but that's also a risk. And there's that risk of Slod Daddy. So
Slot daddy.
I forgot what you just called him. So working for the whatever
The
Many
many-faced-
faces.
Many
that
face Lord.
that thing. Sorry.
The
That was
many-faced
that was the
slot.
giant centipede ball with all the faces on the end.
Oh
of it.
yeah. God, I hated that cutscene. That was terrifying. Yeah, let's head back.
That was
Let's
one
head.
of my favorite ones. It actually reminded me of a cutscene from a video game.
All right, so let's head back early. See if we can fix it. I want to thank these guys for their time and give them have Mav drop a contract.
We're doing it.
drop off a business card.
I think this is the type of thing that I think should be voted on.
Yeah,
I
was
vote.
gonna
I
say,
vote early.
I posed the question, but I didn't hear anyone actually say anything else about it.
I don't
You don't what?
trust them.
I do.
You would.
Yeah, I've gotten where I am by trusting people. I trust you guys.
Yeah, look where that's gotten you.
Yeah, into a lot of really bad places, but I still have a family, so there.
Mav
Well,
is
that's-
open to either route.
That's kind of where Othig is with it because, yeah. I mean,
Mav
Yes,
understands
I
the
will-
concern Zach would have.
I will ask them why they are so hospitable to us.
They would say, why shouldn't we be? They're they're a little confused by the question. She says, is it not the way of the one says, is it not the way of good creatures to care for one another?
Didn't they side with the deceiver?
No,
No.
they did not. They
no,
did
these
not.
ones
didn't.
didn't.
They
Other
didn't.
ones did.
They did
I
not.
thought
Yep.
I thought that's how they ended up all the way out here.
No, many
No.
of their minions did as
I
they
get
were
it.
building their crystal kingdom.
I get it.
Yep.
Okay.
No, yeah, no,
Okay.
they flat out said that they sided with
Does that
The
change your whole
creator.
opinion now?
Trust them now, don't you?
It does.
Okay.
I still don't think we should offer them a contract.
they would politely decline. They
Yeah.
are under contract.
Really?
Yeah, from the
They
creator.
say that very sarcastically, as best as like these beings can pull off sarcasm. Doesn't seem to be very natural for them.
Is it more like a we'll give you a way out type of
No.
under contract?
No. It's more of a like they don't agree to like definitive terms with anybody but him.
The maker. Cool. Let's head back then. My vote is early. We'll see what the votes are.
Okay. I want you to look at that number.
That's really
That is
bad.
not the it is not the percentile dice. That is the total of the 2d10s I rolled. The 2 and the 6. You just avoided being sent back into a different time period. I rolled it at first and I almost like yelped. I was like, and I was like 6. I was almost like, oh!
So that's the combination of what?
I rolled 2d10s. The
Oh,
percentile
gotcha.
dice.
Gotcha.
You know, I grabbed 2d10s, dropped them. First one came up with 2, the second one came up with 6.
Gotcha.
And so when you click the GM, show what the GM rolls, it gives you the total, doesn't show you what the dice were.
Yep.
And that's
I
it.
get it. I get it.
Yep. I could snippet it and then it would make perfect sense. But yes, you
Yeah.
by 1 percentage point avoided being shot off into time, in space, which might have been really cool. I could have put you in anywhere. In the
Round
dawning
town.
of the people crawling out of the shadow years, which would have been
And
fun.
that is where the Granopacks end their days.
Yeah.
We'd be starting a new campaign.
Yep.
Well, Andy, season 3 is about to start. You ready? Oh, sorry, season 4.
So you guys show up back in the room. You say goodbye to your friends, and you show up back in the room where and you see the ward. you are also currently underwater.
Crap.
Doesn't somebody have water breathing?
I
No.
do. It'll just take 10 minutes to cast it.
Well, that's a problem.
Wait, why are we underwater?
Because
there's a
not
lot of
long
water
ago,
This
the keep was
place
underwater.
We got there
Um,
late. Gotcha. We got there after it drained.
How?
I'm going to polymorph Thanok. Nope. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. We're underwater.
How?
This is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Are we? We're in that room where
Yep.
Where they are like the thing is that we have to that I have to unlock.
Yep.
How long do you think it'll take me to unlock it?
Well, you need to do the code properly, or at least
Sure.
that's normally how it works. But looking at this thing now, Ryan, you guys appeared. I rolled a 26, and you just narrowly missed getting shot off into time and space. Yeah, that face. But you did appear in the room where you left. Unfortunately, because it's before Jenica died, the complex is still underwater. So you are now all trapped in the complex underwater.
How much water?
This room's worth.
Plus whatever the complex is?
Yep.
Okay.
What? We're trying to get past the door.
The ward.
You can see the ward that in the arcane cube right on the other side of it. But the arcane cube is somewhat like it's not really there. It's just a facsimile of it, and the ward is there. And but Thanak, you guys know, if you open up the ward the way the Sith have set it up, you're gonna get
We're gonna end up right back where we were.
teleported back to the wake. Mm-hmm.
Plus we're underwater and we need to deal with that first. How long are we able to hold our breath? It's 1 minute per con.
1 minute per con mod.
But if we're casting a spell that causes a problem,
It does.
yep.
It eats into that.
Yep. And casting a spell that would take a minute.
Only if it has verbal component.
Yep, this one does. Because I can take a minute and I can cast Mordenkainen's Mansion, and all the water is just going to go in there.
Will it?
I don't see why it wouldn't. I open the door and it just goes in.
I don't think that's how that
Or
works. Though.
we could go in.
I have no reason to believe it wouldn't work like that.
Or water breathing.
Also, we could just go in.
I mean, yeah, that's. I would think that would be the more actual situation, because like if we open up a Mordenkainen's Mansion, it doesn't suck all the air out of the planet we're in.
No, but it pressurizes to match it. I think if you open a Mordenkainen's Mansion underwater, things could get weird if you don't close it quick enough.
I do think, knowing me and the way I play this game, I definitely will have water start flowing into that mansion. That's not to say you guys couldn't get in there and close the door.
Right.
Because Jeff can make the mansion look like whatever he wants.
Just make the door like a ceiling thing.
A hatch?
Like a moon pool?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
make it a sphincter.
Yeah. Yeah, Mordenkainen's Moon Pool.
It's sphincter. Mordenkainen's moon sphincter.
And I mean, I choose where the entrance is located, so I could have it be up. But
so there wouldn't be as much water flowing into it.
Right.
Shouldn't be any. Gravity doesn't work that way.
Well, and
Pressure
you have
does, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Especially if that break to the astral sea is still in it, then it's got a lot of vacuum going on. We still don't know if that's still a thing. I should have asked the Abolus if it's permanently broken.
I don't think it.
We don't know.
There shouldn't be a vacuum because the astral sea isn't a vacuum itself.
I thought it was.
That's true.
Oh, I didn't realize it wasn't.
Well, the sea is, the drift isn't. Your mansion was ripped open to the drift.
Gotcha. I just remember Thanak being yoinked out. Yeah, I can do that. I can take a minute and I can cast Mordenkainen's Mansion, or we can do something else. I just know we're underwater and we need to do something probably now.
if you cast Mordenkainen's Mansion, we can go in and I can cast Breathe Underwater.
Copy that. Done and done.
Okay, Jeff, what's your con mod?
Oh gosh, 2.
2. I am gonna need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yoink. Nice.
Lucky
Good
dog.
job,
Very nice.
Jeff.
Very nice, Jeffrey. So you start the spell and you're trying to breathe out as little air as possible, and you guys didn't get a deep breath before you go. So I'm having your con mod, and so you need to go your full minute while you're like losing air.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you do manage to pull it off, and you guys see the door appear, and you swim up to it, and some water does push its way in there because of pressure, but you swim up into the mansion space, which is not broken.
Yep. And this time it does look like Red Rock Keep.
Red Rock Keep?
Mm-hmm. The one we broke.
Yeah. Does it look broken, Keep?
Oh yeah, definitely. It
Oh,
is.
okay.
It is the memoriam of the destruction of Red Rock Keep.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm fine with that.
So it's just
There's a sign out there that says Sodix Crater.
Yeah. So I will cast water breathing on everybody. That'll last a day.
Okay.
All right.
That's 10 minutes in. You guys can now breathe water.
All right. Go out and fix the thing.
You want to take a rest real quick?
No,
Rest?
we should go. We didn't.
Yeah.
We weren't given long, and Jenica's about to die, so we should fix it.
Yeah.
So go out there, fix the thing. We don't know how they broke it. Mav has detect magic. Are we able to see if there's a seal or something that was tampered with that we can fix, that the slots touched with their slot parts?
Sorry, I know I missed a lot.
You're good.
Jeff
missed
cast
Tony
Mansion.
trying to talk.
Jeff made a great saving throw. Was able to get Mansion off, even though it's a minute-long cast while you were all holding your breath, and you guys were able to swim into it. And then I cast Water Walk on you guys, and now you're examining the ward.
Yep.
So, as far as the ward looks, it looks 100% cast by a Weave Guardian would. Except when you go to activate it and it starts to give you the passphrase, that's when things got weird. It wasn't necessarily the ward, it's the words that the ward gives you to deactivate it.
That was the same with the other ward by Jenica's diary, correct?
Yep, the ward to the desk was also weird. Not the one to the secret door, but to the desk.
The desk. I will pick up Jenica's diary because I still have it.
Yep.
And I will flip through kind of towards the end of it.
Okay. You are now reading Jenica's diary, and the backside of this diary is full of garbled phrases and weird words. And every once in a while, Jenica begins to write again. She is at war for her mind in this. It doesn't take you long to figure that out at all. That
She's been
to
slaughtered.
put some stuff together, when you brought her back from the astral sea, she did not come alone.
She had a tadpole. Shoot.
So what specifically are you looking for? Just
The proper
More or less
passphrase.
that.
okay.
I was kind of wondering if she was the one doing that.
There is the word doorknob gets used a lot.
Are you able to find the proper passcode?
Yeah, I mean, is there?
Tony was really garbly there. I didn't hear a word he said.
I was asking if he found the proper passcode.
Make an insight check trying to figure this out at disadvantage because it's really wonky.
Question for you. It's an intelligent creature. Would I be able to use the universal speech on the slot's language?
I would allow you to make an insight check on it at a regular one.
Okay.
You still don't understand it because it's not language, it's
Right.
communicating emotion.
Okay.
But you need to pick up what emotion's being communicated.
Okay. 21.
So Thanak, you don't have any luck. So Jeff uses his universal language. He gets a bit more luck. You pick up in between the doorknob phrases. There seems to be a rising and falling of tension of words. and you pick up some words and you identify three different phrases. You identify one that um, might be regret, one that might be joy, and one that might be sorrow.
Just for Tony's sake, what's the difference between regret and sorrow?
Sorrow could be about something that that just happened.
A
Regret is
loss?
more about something that you did.
Gotcha. Thank you. I'd convey those things to Thanok. I mean, this one's kind of yours, dude. We're on a timetable, but I think you got this. I'm going to give you a inspiration. I'm going to tell you that you've done a really good job of keeping people safe, and you're not going to do any differently this time.
The the coding
Mm-hmm.
of the questions,
Yeah.
they're like they're they're like things that I would already know what the question and answer is prior to even turning this thing on, right?
Yeah, you normally you
Yeah,
would. You were well. You know the questions can vary, but you know the answers that they would have.
sure. Um, is there any certain questions that would lead to, what was it, sorrow, regret, and
Joy.
joy? Any of those as the kind of answer?
Um, make an insight check without disadvantage.
Oh boy.
Yep. Reading through this, you catch some phrases that Jenica has slipped into her writings, and she's blended the answers into sentences, and you can tell it's very intentional. Once you start looking for it, you're
Okay.
like, this is an answer. This is an answer. This is an answer. They always come after regret.
I'm just going to
Okay.
cast suggestion on Thanok and tell him
So,
to get the
do I
answer
think I'd
right.
be able to open this up now based on
Yep. And
okay,
and the phrase for regret is bucket mouth.
bucket mouth?
Sorry.
'Cause,
Uh,
um,
uh.
so,
Very fitting.
Oh, Wookie did a bad.
um, Jeff, when you cast the mansion,
Mm-hmm.
is that when you designate who can come in, or can you,
Correct, and I would designate your friends in that.
like, you already did that?
Yeah, there's no
Okay.
way I wouldn't in this situation.
Okay.
Can I designate not the slot?
You could designate people you consider allies.
Okay. Yep.
I would allow that general of a designation.
Okay. I'm gonna do that, and then specifically tell it
But
to slot.
you
I don't know if
probably
that's,
would know that if Jenica is hosting a slot, like
she's
her
not gonna be
trying
able
to
to
get
come
in while she's
Uh-huh.
slotted would
Uh-huh.
probably kill her.
Yeah, we're gonna work on that in a moment.
Okay.
What do you mean?
We're gonna try and get it out of her.
Yeah, but what's your process of doing that?
My intention is to polymorph her into something with a lot of hit points and try and dig it out. Do you have a better idea?
I just mean like you're going to allow her to come into the.
Oh,
mansion.
absolutely, yeah.
Okay, because you had said, "Can I designate the slot not to?"
Right.
Which would kill her in the process.
Yeah, I'm aware. I don't want to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think
So
we can get it out of her. I think we can get it out of her
so
without problem.
I'm just saying the answer at the moment is that we get everybody in the mansion
Yep.
and then we figure that out.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. All right. Cool. I'm fine with that. So I will open that up. Attempt to open
Okay.
the
So
bucket mouth.
so you go to activate the ward and it says knock knock.
Bucket mouth.
Bucket mouth. It says, "Did you hear the one about?"
Bucket mouth.
Do you want to say bucket mouth? You know the other phrases too.
Oh,
So
so yeah. I mean,
okay, the other one is broken chair, and the last one is square wheel. Broken chair is joy, square wheel is sorrow.
Okay, so did I? What did you say? Did I hear the one about?
Did you hear the one about? And it stops.
This would be sorrow, I'm guessing.
Yes, square wheel. Square wheel
Okay.
was Taro, right?
So you say square wheel, and then it goes. Let me tell you about the one time.
And then I can't remember what the other
Joy.
one was.
Broken chair.
Broken chair.
All right. So the ward dissolves itself, and all of a sudden, there's this whoosh of water that pulls forward and then blasts you in the face. And there are 6 people in front of you that were not there before. And in the middle of them is Jenica, and she is writhing in the water and thrashing about.
Hold monster.
What?
Hold monster.
Don't hold her. Well, we can move her if she's held, right?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
see why you couldn't.
Okay.
Who are the 6 people
Because
around her?
because my
They're
brain
the other
automatically
Weave
went.
Guardians.
You turned her into an immovable rod.
No, I'm not
Weave
capable of
Guardians.
making
There were
somebody
more
that
than
stuck.
Moreland, Felrin, and Jenica in there. There were other people in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna use what the heck is it called? Unsettling words. I'm gonna be like, wow, that's freaking weird. And then I'm going to cast Hold Monster on it. And this works different than the way that it used to, because the ability used to be Undeniable Logic that did damage. It does not do that anymore in the way that they've changed the Bard of Eloquence. Now I give it on its next saving throw, it removes a roll of my Bardic Inspiration die from the roll.
Oh,
Yep. They've changed the way that works.
when did they change that?
When they put it into the Theros book.
Oh, it's in there. I still haven't cracked that thing.
Yep, I just bought it.
But instead I got Last of Us 2.
Nice. No, we have it. We have it in Fantasy
I
Grounds.
know, but time.
Oh, gotcha. Yep. So they've changed the way a
Time
few of
has
the
gone
things
to
work.
Preparing campaigns and
Yep.
Yep.
So
All right.
on its next saving
so-
throw, it'll remove a.
Oh, you didn't even need to do that. I got a 3 on the dice.
Sure.
But so it's got a 0.
Got him.
So we can.
She stops thrashing around and she looks up and she's like, "It's got me."
Yep.
That's all she says, and then she passes out.
I'm gonna yell to Thanak. You guys take her
Sorry,
inside.
I was like,
I'm
oh.
gonna try and calm these guys down because they're probably about to be pissed at us because they don't know what's happening. So you take her inside, and I'm gonna try and
Can't-
calm down the situation out here.
That was like
Actually,
Stone
they would
sitcom
all
ass.
recognize Thanak, but they
Yeah.
are all also drowning.
Yeah. So they need to get into the
Yeah.
mansion.
Take. Let's
Yes,
go.
everybody into the mansion. Everybody.
So there's some hesitation, especially from Moreland and Felrin. They're like, no. What about Jenica? And they're like,
She's coming with.
and so they're all freaking out. The others are like, okay, I'm gonna go into the mansion now.
Yeah.
This
Yep.
is really weird.
Othig, grab Jenica. You're strong. Yeet
On
her
it.
inside.
Well, I'm not gonna do that. I will gently carry her.
Oh, that's
inside.
right. You have that thing now. You're not a weakling anymore. I forgot you have that.
We're all really strong except you.
I was never weak to begin with.
I was talking about
Thank
Mav.
you.
Sorry, Andy.
Okay.
Andy did the "What about me" face.
I felt super insulted. I was like,
No,
"Whoa,
Andy.
buddy, back up the train because that ain't okay."
Andy's not weak anymore. You've always been beefy. Don't worry. You're thick. Remember, thick.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Super thick now.
Yeah, for real, bro. So yeah, get everybody inside, and I'll close the door. She's held for a minute, so you guys got a minute. Figure it out.
I like to try greater restoration.
Okay.
While we're moving everybody, I will do my best to explain very quickly to Moreland that we think she's
Johnny Bravo.
Yeah.
I fucking love it.
Okay, so that he nods and he just says later, but that makes so much sense. And so let's see. You want to try greater restoration? So these claws pop out of her mouth, and they're moving through the whole person, very, very slowly. And you hear this thing inside of her scream, and it starts to spread her mouth open. This is not what you were expecting with a tadpole.
Uh-uh. Uh-uh.
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
I
No,
would
thank
like
you.
to cast Beacon of Hope as well.
Okay. You do feel like when you cast Greater Restoration on it, it did hurt it, but it did not kill it.
Yeah, that's
It's
And
too much of its own creature at this point.
That's bad.
Othig, come help me.
Okay.
I would like to.
We're gonna grab it.
Fennec, I need your assistance real quickly
Yep.
in some
Othig, go
understanding
grab
of
that. Go grab
of-
that thing's pincers.
no of magic.
Yes,
If
I'm
we
with you.
cast Death Ward on Jenica, would that protect the creature or would it protect Jenica?
As a note, the hold monster didn't work on it, so I'm guessing that won't either. That's just Jeffrey's input.
Yeah, that should cast it on. If you cast it on, especially at this point when there's two clearly separately identifiable creatures.
There are two separately identifiable creatures. I
Mav would
think
agree.
Vanak can roll. You guys can roll an advantaged Arcana check to make a quick decision about this.
Advantage
Oh, advantage. Sorry.
as we're bantering away.
Yeah, I know. 24.
You have a War Gong available.
Oh yeah.
You also have an
I
inspiration
have
from
an
Jeff,
inspiration, which
Yep.
is a
So
D10,
that's
right?
actually a 25.
so that's actually a 25 as a point.
Nope,
That's
that's
my-
actually
that's
a
my-
34.
It is
That's
a
my
25. 34.
That's your inspiration?
That's
We
my
got a
inspiration.
Redskin,
I
didn't we?
will immediately use my reaction to inspire Othig and tell him to get that thing out of her
On it.
from my infectious inspiration.
Yeah. So that's
You want-
a 34 on
Arcana.
the
Yep.
Arcana.
Now, you guys know I keep information tiered in DCs. Do you want a War Gong?
Yes.
You know what? Let's go for it.
Yes.
No, there's
You want to hit that 35.
Yeah.
It's a 36.
Okay, you are convinced that Death Ward probably will save Jenica physically. However, there is just looking at this thing, it is coming from all places in her. You don't know what kind of condition she'll be in when she comes out of this. You also know, looking at this now, based on Arcana and things you just learned from the Aboleth, and Othig's like, these claws have heads on the end of them. That
Oh.
you are definitely dealing with some sort of slod-like creature that was booned by the many-faced war.
Do you still want me to grab it?
Feel
uh,
the,
I definitely want you to grab it.
do you feel like the damage to the brain or the mentally would be reversible, or is it at that kind of point of no return?
At this point, you do not have time to do that kind of in-depth check. I'm just letting you know that she is very intertwined with this thing right now.
So first step, detach the two. Second step, get her back mentally.
If need be.
Or option 3 is
Can,
not not having DM tell you that Jenica's dead, but making that I killed Jenica.
can I? Would I? This is a reach. Would I be able to Professor X her head
keep her safe.
to help separate the two?
Yeah, I'd allow that.
All right.
So you run over and grab her head and make a check. Make your brain check. Well, that's real good.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's a good brain check. So immediately, you guys watch this. Thanak grabs her head, and Thanak starts saying things like "lock, butter, door, stopper," and like all these gibberish words start coming out of him. Green smell, green smell, green smell, green smell, and he just starts screaming words, and then Jenica begins to echo those same words as the creature begins to scream in what sounds like anger.
That's right, doorknob.
Mike, at this point, do I feel like having her held is beneficial or no?
Make a medicine check real quick.
Copy that. 15.
You know, 15. You know that the creature did not start exiting until you held her.
But that also happened with the Greater Restoration, correct?
Right. Well, those
Although
two things
the
happen very
restoration-
Right.
simultaneously.
Does Othig have a hold of the creature?
Othig, at this point, would be able to have a hold of some of the claws coming out of her mouth. He's kind of almost to some degree arm wrestling her. And
Okay.
it's really weird. He's looking down into her throat in her mouth, and he is watching what looks to be a full-bodied slod start trying to push its way up out of her throat, but at the same time there are tendrils of sloddiness attached to various parts of like the rest of her being. That's how he knows that it's also attached to her brain and her eye sockets and other things like that. But it does look like this creature, almost in a Mary Poppins bag of holding style transference, is coming out of her mouth.
Okay. I guess what I was trying to figure out is if it would be beneficial for me to try and hold that thing instead.
That is in you that with that you're not gonna.
Okay.
Yep, that's not quite a good enough medicine check. You know it did not make a move to get out until Jenica could no longer move.
Right.
You got a war gong.
I do.
I think I would say keep it on her.
Yeah.
Because then at the very least we're not fighting her.
Ability.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
She's very
like
powerful.
she is, and she's just like at the moment she is just laying there while we are only currently wrestling that.
Okay. Oh, gosh. Okay. I'm gonna give it a second. I'm gonna try and figure some other things out real quick.
Okay. Before you go, Felrin is now also helping Othig. So Othig comes to the point where you're making strength checks. Felrin is wrestling with one of the hands as well.
Okay.
There's clerics here. There's a cleric here somewhere.
There are some Weave Guardians that have healing magic. They are tapped out from trying to exist in the void.
Gotcha. I was hoping to see if one of them could try and banish this thing, but
No, they have blown their spell slots.
okay.
Am,
That's all I've got.
is this thing magical in the sense that I could attempt to sap some of its power?
No, they are planar in nature, not magical.
More psionic than anything. It's kind of like Fazrugul.
I'm assuming you put Death Ward on her.
Yes, she is that board.
But then your connection, you cannot communicate with anybody else while you're doing this, but you and Jenica both know where she's at, and she knows what kind of crap she's in. That is mentally being communicated between you two.
Okay.
She knows how bad this is.
You guys need to do something to this creature.
Oh,
I was just gonna say, is she still in a position where, like, is she still fighting, or is it like she just tapped out?
Oh,
Right.
she's fighting.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's tired, mentally exhausted, on the verge of fraying, but she has not given up yet.
I may cast another Greater Restoration on Jenica.
Okay.
I'm going to give Jenica a Bardic Inspiration.
All right. That's good. So, Othig, the creature has been trying to dig its claws into you, but the way you're holding its hands, especially now that you have two, you can see its claws are kind of like doing a scorpion tail like looking thing at you, but it is unable to get you. The minute Mav hits it with another Greater Restoration, it's that thing where like it almost does jazz hands because it's like it doesn't like what's happened to it and it shakes, and then as soon as that passes, it begins its assault. It is not as strong as it was before Mav hit it with that spell.
That's cool.
Danak, you regain a modicum of clarity. You can now use single word phrases that make sense.
Okay.
I'm going to use another
More,
Doorknob.
just say more doorknobs.
Yep. I'm going to use my last bardic inspiration, and I'm going to unsettle this creature and just tell it to go back from the void from which it came. So it will have on its next saving throw a negative D10. And you guys should do something to this thing. I can't hold monster for much longer.
Yeah.
No, you probably have 2 more rounds because you did have to drag her into the
Yep.
mansion.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfectly acceptable. Somebody want to try and get rid of it?
Yeah. I mean, is it? Can I?
I can attempt one more greater restoration if you want at 6th level, but
Do
I
it.
cannot cast heal at that point.
That's okay. I can blast you with a big spell and give you spells back. We got this. I also have regenerate.
I also have a 5th level spell left.
Okay, and
I
she
just
has
can't.
Beacon of Hope up, so
Yep.
healing is helpful for her.
Yeah.
I will cast my 6th level greater restoration.
Okay.
I'll cast a 6th level healing word. No, 5th level. 4th
You don't
level.
have cure wounds?
No, not. I have it in my penny whistle, but I used it already.
Oh,
So I just
Okay.
have healing word.
So, the creature rolled a 2 on its saving throw against the Greater Restoration, and at this point, it dissolves into black ichor. Oathig, it just like schmoozes in your hands. And Felrin's like, oh gosh, and he kind of backs up, and then he scoops Jenica up underneath her as her body is like the spell of hold person starts to fade, and she goes limp. And Danak, you hear, "Thank you," and then nothing.
I'm going to cast regenerate. It takes a minute to cast.
Somebody check her pulse.
Do you want me to do that before I cast the spell?
What?
I will
Okay.
give her healing from the healer's kit.
All right. I will check her pulse.
She still has a pulse.
She's alive.
Okay.
I'm going to cast regenerate on her.
Okay, so you begin to regenerate.
Yep. How long does Beacon of Hope last, Andy?
1 minute.
Oh, so it'll be gone by the time I finish this. So let me know if I can roll the dice.
Cast it again.
Okay, if you want to cast it again.
I will cast it again.
Okay. So you have some time. Everything is
She also
calmed
has
down.
healing from healer's kit.
Okay. It definitely physically looks like the healing is helping her. Everybody is like, what? What? And Felrin's the first one who says it. He says Slod because he remembers.
Oh, it's maxed out. Sorry.
He was there and looking at all of you, nodding back at him in agreement. He just kind of sits down and lays Jenica very gently down on the ground and kind of starts to sob.
I'll go over by Bellerin and put my hand on his shoulder. Mentally, is there anybody home?
No. Mav, I'm gonna have you make a post. This is a perception check that would have happened right at the end of the event. Something you'd be thinking through.
Yeah, no, not gonna happen, but that's okay.
That's not bad. See, you got to where I wanted you to get.
Why are you at disadvantage?
Because I wasn't gonna make you roll it at disadvantage.
Because
So
I'm
I'm-
still exhausted.
Why? We just got to
Oh.
rest.
Yep.
Because he had more than one level of exhaustion.
You suck.
That's his drawback, man.
I'm sorry for saving your life.
Yeah, me too.
Um,
You got a Wargong you can toss in there. if you
I'm
want.
going to work on it.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well then even at disadvantage you would have noticed this for sure. So there was a magical beam that shot out of Jenica. You barely noticed it, but right when the creature died, something It was like a pulse that went out from her.
Suck it up.
Up or down?
More like a ring, like sonar. One ping opening.
I would mention that to see if we have any ideas.
Is it something you can suck up?
No, this would not have been something he could have sucked up. Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
One ping opening. British
don't-
Russian sea captain.
Yeah.
Sean,
No,
can you do it a
he's-
Russian accent? No.
He's not Russian. He's Lithuanian. They speak English, right?
That's awful.
They're British, aren't they?
Awful.
I would say that we try an Arcana check just to who are Jeffrey can aid Thanic and I'll cast guidance
I would say that you could have two rolls
or
both
religion.
at advantage because you are among some of the most arcane knowledgeable people on the planet at the moment.
So what?
You can make two Arcana checks for what Mav has described happen at advantage.
So okay, so 2 rolls at advantage.
Yep.
Do you want to give him guidance? Or
Oh my
aid?
gosh.
No.
Jeez.
I'm out.
Inspiration.
Inspiration.
I gave them all out in that fight.
Wow.
Jenica got my last one.
Okay. So with a guidance on the 27,
So it'd be 27.
It's Moreland who comes up with the idea once you describe what happened, and Thanak describes what is happening now with Jenica. He thinks that she has been pulled away by some sort of magic jar spell.
And that's
That
not
her
something that can
soul
be
and
interfered with.
consciousness has been sucked somewhere into a container, similar to a lich's phylactery.
And that's not something Mav can interfere with.
Oh, T, your mic is doing that thing that it does once in a while.
How's that?
It's a little better.
Yeah, that's me cranking it all the way up to max. And that's not something that Mav can interfere with.
It was not something Mav could have
Right.
interfered with. Because
Um,
Mav was in the middle of already casting a spell, so it's
Yep.
and we weren't in initiative, so
My
it's not something he expected to see happen. It just happened. It was gone.
right.
my impression is also it was probably something closer to divine.
Sure. Yeah. From something awful.
Yeah, based on base. How much information do we know about the Many-Faced Lord?
Not a lot. He is the most unknown being in the Hells. And some suggest he is that way because he never keeps the same form, personality, or voices. That he is a constant shifting of entity that has the same purpose.
Based on what you said, based on what we saw, we would assume that this is a Slod who's been blessed by.
Yep, just by the few things that the aboleths explained to you, and I know we were being expeditious in some of that to make a move, but it would have been very much the type of thing that they would have talked about.
Yeah.
That his base form is somewhat insectoid, covered in faces, and that he often partners with Slod, and then you just saw Slod basically covered in faces.
Yeah. And we
And
know based on what they said that if she dies by a Slod who's working closely with the Many-Faced Lord, that she wouldn't be able to just be brought back to life. This
Right.
might be what they meant.
That was a reasonable postulation. Ryan's froze.
That looks
Say something,
accurate.
Ryan.
Oh,
We can still hear you, I guess. Can you hear us, Ryan?
that's unfortunate.
Ryan, anybody home?
Mike's gone too.
Ryan, can you hear us? Put a pancake on your head if you can hear us.
It's funny, then I just crashed too.
Yeah.
So maybe that one wasn't my fault. Probably was though.
Maybe. All right. So this is a phylactery situation. We have to go to wherever that phylactery is to get her back.
Probably.
Do we have any idea where that could be? Oh, wait.
Probably not.
No, we do. We need to go to Euros. We were told that by
We do.
the aboleths that we're
Well,
going to
the
go there to
But it-
face.
But it may not be for this. It
Oh,
might
but
be
one of
for-
our friends is going to be there, and we should not help them. We were
No,
just
yeah,
told that.
We were told go help your friends. When you're done with them, go to Euros, and when you see your friends in Euros, don't help them.
Right,
Not don't help the friends we're sending you to.
right. But what if she's the friend in Euros?
She might be.
What if
But
she's the
I
thing in
guess
the
we'll have to
phylactery
find out
there?
then.
I'm just forewarning that if we see her there, we may need to ignore her. And we may need to go and do the other thing before we help her, which I know is hard because we're going to want to help her. We need to ignore everybody but the many-faced Lord once we get to Euros.
Yeah. Are you back, Ryan?
Yeah.
Your camera's not working, but we can hear you.
Camera's working, it's just not.
Gotcha. So we should deliver these guys to our keep, and we should go to Euros.
Yep.
Anybody have any other suggestions, including Moreland and company?
True.
Can they take a rest and then transport themselves back to our keep?
Potentially. My mansion is awake and alive here for a while. However, we know that this place isn't necessarily safe. There are things upstairs. There's an aberration nearby that could be remarkably problematic for us.
Yeah, is that thing still by?
We
You
have no
don't
idea.
know.
Can we ask them if they faced the aberration yet?
They have no idea what you're talking about. They were made magically aware by some of the other spellcasters on the continent that there was a massive tidal wave washing over the north. They gathered the four Weave Guardians, Felrin, Jenica, Moreland, and the new guy, Jarek, grabbed two of the peasants from the keep and all ran into the warded area as the water came rushing down the hallway.
Everyone else is dead. So we and those things
That there's some...
those things are also remarkably attracted to us. And we came here back in time, which means the ones we killed are still upstairs and attracted to my keep or to my
I
mansion.
have a question, Jeff.
Mhm.
Jeff, do you have a? And I don't even know if it can work this way. Can you put? Can you have a? Can you cast teleportation circle from inside the mansion?
I can. I can cast teleportation circle to take us home from inside of here.
Okay.
Teleportation circle can take us basically anywhere we want to go as long as I have the portal on the other end.
Coordinates, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we don't
I
have
know-
we don't have to go through. I can cast that and they can go, and then I can cast it again and we can go the other way. We don't have to go back home if we don't want to. I just know that time wise, it might not be safe for us to stay here very long.
No, correct. And I think we should. I think we should just
we
go.
should go through home, get safe
Yeah.
there.
We
then
can
go
only
home.
I can only send 8 at a time. So
Oh,
there are too many of
Oh,
us.
okay.
I will send them to our keep, and then we can go to our keep, or we can send them somewhere else safe, unless you want them to go to our keep.
Does Moreland
just
have? Does Moreland have a place he would prefer to go? Does he even have? Does he have teleportation circle? Does he have that?
They have no spell slots.
I know, but I
normally-
mean, does he?
He would normally have access to that, but he does not at the moment. Nor does he have access to his wizard's books, which are all in his sanctum.
Do you want to run out there and get them, Thanak? You can breathe underwater right now.
The four of us can all breathe underwater.
Right. It's up to you, my dude. I'm
no,
happy to
totally
help,
fine with
but
doing that. I don't. Yeah, I mean, because I don't want to just leave this. Problem is, the problem is getting into that room, where I believe as soon as I get into it, it's all gonna. Water's gonna pour into it, but I don't know where that the room where he has the stuff that's like magically
protected.
Yeah,
That was flooded when you opened the door before.
yeah.
Now the whole other place is flooded.
So it's likely fine.
Can he provide us information on how to get there and how to get his books? Since we can breathe underwater.
Yeah.
Well, he says Thanak should be able to open the door. Thanak was able to open the door from the ward the last time.
Yeah, just is there a way to open the door without? Because if I remember correctly, as soon as I opened the door,
Water came out of it.
but the ward dropped, meaning everything in there was no longer protected.
Correct.
So is there a way to open that up without it disrupting that ward?
Destroying
He says
everything.
probably not. And in that case, he would rather come back for his books that have 1,000 years of Weaveguardian knowledge soaked and drowned.
Agreed.
So if we leave it for right now, it's fine. If we come back later, it'll be okay. But if we go and try and get it right now, it's going to get all waterlogged. Is that what I'm understanding?
I think that's what we're understanding.
So if we just leave it, it's safe.
No. We know outcome A, going and getting it now, is going to result in
Destruction.
destruction. Option B is unknown if it is safe at a later time, but it's not destroyed now.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. We'll do that.
So,
Yep, because the star spawn was trying to get into the warded room, which is now gone. So you don't know if he's coming here or if he's not, or if he will focus his attention on something else.
As a note,
You don't know.
I'm curious on that with them sending us back in time if they would have allowed, and this is just if they would have allowed us to go back in time knowing that that thing could still come.
Don't know.
We don't know. Okay. But they were really adamant about destroying whatever that was.
You got this distinct impression that they didn't want it spreading.
Oh.
Like they were worried about you.
Oh. Okay. Oh. Well, we should tell these guys that that thing's coming here. Because they don't know about that. We should tell them about the star spawn.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
I mean,
and the fact that his books are in danger. Because if that thing comes here, can't get them, and instead wants his knowledge, it's going to take his knowledge instead. Destroying it's better than the star spawn getting it.
But at the same time, we don't even know why the star spawn came here in the first place.
But we know that it came here about an hour in the future.
Yeah, no, but I mean, what I'm saying is that it might have come here because it was attracted to the ward that is no longer up.
You also know that you guys are about to show up in a day.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm leaving a note for myself.
Oh crap!
That is.
but are we?
We don't know. We don't know
Yeah.
how time works.
Well, we probably are. This sucks.
There's two of us now. There could be two Jeffs, guys. There's no downside.
As long as there's not two Jakes.
I can inspire myself.
It's actually 4 downsides.
Well, Moreland says.
Yeah, let's explain to him the time travel and the Abjurian.
Yeah, I would have openly explained everything to the best of my ability to Moreland.
Then he says, why don't we recreate the trap?
So
to
that
keep the circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we know what's going to happen, trap them.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
oh, how badly I want to mess with it.
So, how do... I don't actually know where that sent us. I know it sent us to the astral wake, but I don't...
Like, Kennick, that's his name. Kennick goes, well, does it matter? if we don't know what it is and we set the trap that you later trigger, it doesn't matter where it goes to send you. We just have it send you to some demi-plane.
And then
And
those
it
guys
will
are there.
always be where it sent you.
Oh.
Because I don't want it to send us to the wrong place and then have our and then
But is us setting it to just go somewhere what was set that sent us somewhere
Right,
that
exactly.
we actually went to?
Everybody roll insight checks.
Guys, I hate how butterfly effect this is.
yeah.
It's freaking me out.
Someone roll my check, please.
Oh, are you kicked out?
I didn't even click the button. I just now
Mike, you
clicked
can
it.
click
I
for him,
was like,
right?
I've just been sitting here the whole time, just listening.
That's so funny. Yeah, I can roll a d20 for Ryan.
Because Ryan has inspiration.
That's a nat 1.
Yes!
Yeah, I mean, this would make sense for Othik to be like,
Really
I
would.
don't, what?
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Jeff, you hear the aboleth's voice in your head saying, "All this has happened before. All this will happen again."
Just do it. Do it.
It's not actually them like saying it.
No,
You
it's the.
You
you
remember
hear
that.
it.
Yep. I will tell Thanok to recreate the thing, just sending it to a random demi-plane. It'll work.
All right.
Do I feel like that's validating the idea we had? Is that would be Mike?
It feels very validating.
Okay. Yeah.
And honestly, it begins to explain a lot of the ways the aboleths behaved and treated you.
They've had this conversation several times.
So you all crawl out, you swim out of the mansion, and you begin to reset the wards.
Yep.
As you do, the water level does begin to come down some. Because this
Does
takes
that mean that
quite
we're
some
going
time.
to open the door? We removed the ward on the books, didn't we?
Later, yeah.
Later.
Do we want to put a note on the ward?
To not destroy the books.
No, because you need it to happen exactly as it happened last time.
And we
Yeah.
can't tell Duder that his books are about to get destroyed.
Yeah. But they didn't get destroyed. Sounds
No. The ward protected the room, so when the water rushed out as the ward came down, the books were
Yeah.
not damaged.
Yeah.
They are still here, but they are undamaged.
Gotcha. Are we able to leave a note for Thanok, future Thanok, past Thanok, to grab
The books?
his spell book?
No.
No,
because that would upset the circle.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nope. I'm following. It needs to happen exactly
So
as it happened.
this just means we have to hang out for a day.
Why?
So that we can get the books.
Oh, because otherwise we're gonna go.
After future past us come in and
Yep.
get trapped. That's when
We have 24 hours with the Mordecai's Mansion. We could just go take a long rest.
we might need to.
All right, and then wait for ourselves to get poofed, and then go after the spawn mage is dead and all that.
Do we get the impression? Would we be able to figure out how, like, where are we in reference to time-wise?
You know your group is just under a day behind you. You are about 23 hours away from coming through that.
And we have 24 hours on Mordenkainen's Mansion that's only visible to people that I have given permission to.
Yeah, but you did give us.
I didn't give future us that permission. Or sorry, past
future
us.
That's past us.
Sorry, I meant past us. I didn't give past us permission.
Are we on the side of the doorknob lock, or are we on the other side of it?
We're right where Jeffrey's portrait is.
Yep. And the lock, the doorknob lock is right in front of where Thanok is on the map.
And we're safe from that mage because without him having any reason to look for it. Oh, it's called Underkeep.
Yeah.
Boing. I just shared it again.
There you go.
Okay, so we are under Jeff's
The
portrait.
the other option, which is
We're
very
above
similar,
it technically because I cast it above me.
is we know we're just under a day like waiting. We could like take a rest.
Yep.
I mean, because everybody here needs a rest anyways. Um, we take a rest, and then 15, 16 hours, that's when we recast the mansion.
We do not know though when the other guy's gonna show
I
up.
suppose that's true.
We
That's
don't know
true.
when
You
the
have
spawn.
no idea when bad guys coming.
Yeah, and
That's
we know
right.
we're safe from him. He can't see the mansion.
Yeah.
But my thought would be is can we get into one of these other rooms that we didn't go look at, close the door behind us?
We don't know that he didn't.
Sure, but we recast mansion.
Sure, but if we go into one of those rooms and he's got stuff in one of those rooms or they're filled with water, we break the circle.
Yeah.
This space needs to be exactly how we found it. Where I was checking for traps as I went down the hallway, I was looking for tracks. There weren't any. I rolled pretty well on all of that, and I rolled a pretty decent stealth check. I had like a
Yeah,
30 on my stealth check.
Yeah, I think we just waited out because it took under an hour for us to get to the keep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it took just under an hour for us to get to the keep to get to.
Right.
Yep. And we can remember that because of Pass Without a Trace.
Yeah.
Yep. Because it wore out shortly after Jeff got. It was about to wear out when Jeff was but sneaking down that hall.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's gonna be
Tight.
super close.
Yep. We need to get
It's
out of
g-
here.
I love this so much.
Yeah, we'll just hang out in the mansion, and
Yep.
then we're gonna come out. Our past future selves are gonna come in and get teleported out, and then almost like seconds later, we're gonna pop out of this mansion.
Hey, Arcanists. Hey, guys that know magic. Hey, you fellas that know things more than Jeffrey does. I have a really important question regarding this place we're sitting in. When past me casts Broken Mansion, is it going to mess with this mansion? Are we the same creature? Are we different creatures? That's a new casting of the same spell on the same
You
plane.
are a creature, but
How
that is
bad is that going to go?
You are the same creature, but that's not
Yeah.
now.
They all kind of gathered together in a circle and they start to talk, and then you see them shaking their hands and they do some rock paper scissors, and they turn around and they say, "We'll be all right."
Yeah.
Jeffrey's literally just going to sit down, and he learned how to do this recently. He's just going to pray.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So everybody rests up. It is a awkward 23 hours. There's obviously a relief that people were rescued, and even had somebody died, it probably would have been a happier time than what you're doing. You know, Jenica is just laying there, soulless and mindless, just a breathing corpse, basically at the moment, and it's a downer. You can't even celebrate, you know, a good fights and everything else, but it's also still at the same time people are alive, and there's a plan, and there's a hope, and that does carry through some. So are you at the end of the 24 hours? Are you sending them to your keep before or after that?
I would at the very least want Moreland around. Because he can even come with us.
He could.
You know, because he knows what he's looking for. It's his stuff.
Yeah, I can just send the people who are, I guess, dead weight, and grab that one individual that we know can help us.
Yeah. Also, I totally want to keep an eye on the new guy, Kennick. Is that what you said his name?
Yeah,
Said his
kind of.
name? And just make sure he's up to snuff.
Okay, he seems capable. You know, he definitely doesn't seem like a doof, and just from your own training and the way you were recruited,
Hmm.
like you were invited pretty casually,
Yeah.
but the first week was definitely anything but.
Sure.
Yeah.
It was a high level aptitude test, and not just physically, it was very mental. So this guy is probably, even if he's not of level yet, he's going to be all right.
All right.
That's the impression you get from them. So Jeff sends everybody but Moreland home at one point in time.
Yep.
24 hours passes. Are you opening the door to the mansion and going out, or are you just waiting as long as you can till it
We should
expires?
just wait until we are ejected.
Well, here's the thing: if we get ejected as we're still standing there, or once we come back, we know that like there's stuff that happens there. I could just peek out the door, or you can send your snowman out.
Jeff, can you make us invisible?
I can make me invisible. I don't think I can cast greater invisibility on more than one person. 1 second.
How many are there? There's 4 of us. 5
5.
of us?
5.
With Moreland. I can only cast it on one person.
I don't know why I didn't think about this sooner. Okay,
Oh boy.
Thanik, I'd like
Huh?
you to cast water breathing on us.
Okay. Done.
We should not wait the full 24 hours.
Okay.
How long? Water breathing lasts 8 hours?
24 hours.
24 hours? Alright, so I have gaseous form potions that we could drink. 4 of us could drink it to get out of here. Well, that's only 4 of us, though.
Right.
Yeah, but that we wouldn't be. We'd just be like bubbles.
Sure. But we could get under a doorway without disturbing or leaving a path.
Where are we going? Just out to one of the doors in the hallway here?
Yep.
All right.
Trying to get out of here.
I can cast invisibility on myself, and I'm fine then. If you want to cast water breathing on me,
Yeah, I mean everybody's got water breathing.
okay. And then I can cast
Or-
invisibility on just me.
Or we
I'm
cast
super stealthy.
dimension door.
What about it?
We could dimension door into there,
Into where?
into one of those spaces.
Well, sure, but that's a 4th level spell,
Sure, but
and we have no idea what's in there. What if the room is filled with spikes?
Do you want me to go gaseous form into there, go check it out, and then come back?
Well, yeah, sure, but
I'm just trying to think. We don't necessarily want to be in this room
they
when
can't.
we show up.
Well, they can't. We have no reason to look for my mansion. So me finding it would be remarkably
And on
surprising.
on top of that, if we walk into this room, there's already enough magic to be thrown off of that. There's also a mansion sitting in the corner. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm just saying, Mav always sees magic.
Yeah, I don't think you like. As a note on that, I don't think detect magic lets you see the outline of Mordenkainen's mansion. It is invisible to anyone who is not allowed to be in there.
All right. Well,
Yeah, I think I would rule it that way. However, if you crack the door, then Mav would immediately see it.
Right.
Like that he would see, but when it's closed, it's basically extra dimensional at that point.
Yeah. And with our telepathic bonds, if you go out there, if one of us stealthy ones goes out there as a gaseous form, we can let everybody else know once those guys go in there, have their epic battle. We could have one person just hanging out in that corridor, or sorry, in one of those rooms as a gas bubble, tell everybody else once crap goes down, and then we come out. Everybody
yeah,
else comes out.
Based on what we've known from a couple episodes ago, telepathic bond does not. If some people are in the mansion and some people are out, that doesn't connect.
Transfer.
No, it does.
Yeah.
Rary's telepathic bond goes across all.
Yeah.
Oh, because the creatures didn't.
What creatures?
That we brought inside and they detonated.
They didn't have
They
Rary's
lost-
telepathic bond with us.
Not with us. They lost contact with the whatever was controlling them.
That means that was just less powerful than a 5th level divination spell.
Okay.
Oh, no, it does say, though it cannot extend to other planes of existence. Look at that.
I thought it could.
I thought it could too. That's sending.
Didn't know for future
But
use.
one person can be out there and then just come back into the mansion once everybody's gone. We don't need to use Rary's bond for that. We can just send the stealthiest person out there as a bubble, hide in one of the rooms, and just come back in. Somebody with a high perception, high stealth, as a bubble, and then just come back in and get us once the other us goes into the slot portal.
Yeah, but I guess I don't understand why that would even be an issue.
Why? What would be an issue?
Like,
Because
why
then
does
you know you're in the clear.
We want to
Yeah,
minimize the chances of running into ourselves and causing a temporal disruption.
right? But if we are just waiting inside until mansion pops,
Well, my thought was, I mean, you're trying to maximize the outside time after you go in. That's what I thought you were
Correct.
trying to achieve.
That. Because
So, like, the minute you guys are done and gone, the new you is about business
right,
and not waiting
Yeah.
extra time.
sure, which is fine.
right. We don't want to
But
lose
it
time.
also risks us seeing each other.
Yeah,
Not
I think
in the bubble. I think the bubble's a good plan.
who's going to become a bubble? Who's the stealthiest? Probably me. Dang it! I roll like garbage.
Yeah, but I think if you're a bubble,
Yeah,
I think stealth is gonna be its own thing. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Cast
I do.
Pass Without a Trace.
I can cast invisibility. I can become a bubble, and it's just a whole bunch of random craziness. So yeah, I'll wait till within an hour of when we know we showed up. I'm going to cast invisibility on myself, drink the gaseous form potion. The Pass Without a Trace won't work because it doesn't expand beyond the mansion.
I'm also thinking that it's gonna be underwater.
It might not
The
be.
water was already starting to drain out while
Yeah.
you guys were working on
Right.
the ward.
Yeah, when we came in,
Yeah.
there wasn't any water.
We don't know if
Nope.
there's water in either of these side rooms, but
Sure.
I don't think it's going to be a big deal either way. All right, stealth check. Yeah. Oh well. Still a 17.
Are you invisible or are you gas?
Yeah, invisible and gas. Because I can
Well,
cast
stealth is an
invisibility.
advantage then.
Oh gosh, that's even better. Yeah. Ta-da! 25. Okay.
Jeff, you pop out of the mansion. The first thing you notice is there is an enormous amount of, in your mind, fuzzy feeling in your Rory's
Ah,
telepathic bond.
frick.
And then you realize you can hear yourself and everybody else.
No, I need to
And
control.
you make the connection back to the very strange presence you all felt
Yep.
when your Rary's telepathic bond while you were in this area.
Oh, it was me.
It was you,
I was the disruption. So I'm gonna.
not the aberration.
I am the aberration. I am the
Yeah.
abjuration.
Aberration.
The Abjuration.
I am the anomaly, and then I'll fart cloud underneath one of these doors.
Okay. Right as you do, you see light coming down the corridor, and the last of the water kind of oddly drains away, almost like it was being moved by something.
Or absorbed.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I'll poof. I'll fart cloud underneath one of these doors and just hide and wait.
So you see a lot of shadows go by, a lot of electricity happening, crackling of, you hear noises. At one point in time, the door opens up and one of those tentacled eyeball creatures is in there. Oh no, am I gonna spot you?
No.
You
Get out.
lucky dog. I rolled a nat 20.
Oh
Plus
no.
3 plus 1.
Oh.
Wow.
My 10 was-
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
So this thing floats into the room and it is like looking straight into the cloud, like it knows you're there. It is not smart enough to put together that you are a creature, and it moves away.
Jeff's just like got this panicked face, just like everything's gonna go wrong. Because I don't know if you can unfart cloud.
And then
Yes, bonus action.
you hear the battle start. You hear Thanak screaming, "Worms, worms, they're on me!" And Othing's like, "Somebody help me with these things!" and you hear it all, and you're like, "Wow, is this what we really sound like in the heat of the moment? We're morons." Why is Othing all alone fighting all three of those creatures? Why is Thanak unable to do anything? You hear
Yeah.
it all.
Yeah.
And in the minute of the battle, you guys don't pay any attention to all of that. You're just doing your thing. And you're like, wow, we
Yeah.
survive.
Yeah.
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 Not only do we survive, but we thrive.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you hear, knock,
Door-
knock.
door-
Who's there? Doorknob. Doorknob who? And then you hear, doorknob, 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 doorknob.
Yeah.
And then you hear
Oh no.
a chorus of gravelly voices that say, "It is time. The Weave Guardians cannot leave their prison."
A chorus of voices.
Mm-hmm.
Have I heard the many-faced what's it doodle?
You have not.
Has he now?
I'm gonna I guess kind of I'm gonna just give it a second and see if I hear anything else.
You do hear what sounds like spell casting.
I'm gonna poke my
Myth.
ghost fart head out from under the door.
Make a stealth check.
Oh, a new one? Okay. Let's see how this goes. Guys, this might be the end of Jeff. I was like, Mike, if this is how I go, I'm sad.
All right.
30.
So, you poke your head out the door, and you see what looks to be a one centipede body that is turned in upon itself. You do not see an end or a beginning to it, but you do see thousands of legs shooting off at different points, and it is in constant motion. And at the end of each of those legs is a screaming face. It is casting a spell on the block, and then it disappears. You do not see it for long, and it never sees you.
Oh gosh. Do I feel as though I have a moment to cast a spell while it's doing whatever ritual it's doing?
You have to undo your form.
I understand. That's a bonus action.
Yep.
Do I feel as though I would have a moment to intercede on behalf of the Weave Guardians at what would likely be my own peril?
What are you trying to do?
I would like to cast a force cage around the block, which cannot have spells cast through it.
Yeah, but we don't.
It only lasts an hour. And whatever this thing is doing, I might have enough time to interrupt whatever it's doing. And I have a feeling this thing is stealing Jenica's soul by doing whatever it's doing. And Jeffrey does not want Jenica's soul to go away.
It went away
A long
when you
time ago.
defeated the creature.
Sure,
24 hours earlier, almost.
but okay. But whatever this thing is doing is a big deal. And
It's doing what we originally got caught doing. This isn't anything new.
what do you mean originally got caught doing? We just went inside of it.
Yes, and it's sending us.
It already did that. The Slod sent us. This is different.
It
Hold
does
on.
not know that we
Mike,
are
is
here.
this separate from the rest of that? Or is this something new, or is this something we already know about?
You do not know about this, but this is probably not something new. This is probably exactly what happened after the last time you guys got teleported away. You have successfully not broken the timeline.
Right?
So whatever is going on right now,
Needs to happen.
No. At this point, we are within our rights to change the timeline because we are already in where we were. to
Right.
get Back to where we are.
So
Are we really changing
Yeah.
it at all?
But,
is
yeah, but whatever is happening it doesn't matter because it's not
No.
going.
They do not know, or it does not know that we are back and that we
It-
got the we got
Correct. But we
AKA, the
already.
timeline is whatever we
That
want
is
it to be
true.
at this
You are
point.
insightful enough to know that it obviously doesn't know there are not Weave Guardians in whatever it's casting that spell at inside of that room.
It thinks that the Weave Guardians are still in there. It is securing them in a force cage of a sort and then leaving with it. Whereas it's really just force caging nothing.
An empty prison.
So interfering with this has no benefit.
Except for killing you.
Yeah, which
No, I needed an actual like where I would be led on this.
I
Because-
will say, you don't know what will happen if you interfere with this. Because Matt, Andy's right. You are in new timeline territory, but it is safe to say that whatever this thing did, it did it last time too. Now you don't know if interfering with it's going to cause a benefit or if it's going to cause a problem.
Or if it's
Because
already
it
happened.
obviously wants the Weave Guardians dead, and right now it thinks it's killing them.
yeah, but you also know there's no one in that because after we took everybody out, Moreland and I went back out and reset the whole thing.
right.
See, this I think is the real reason the guys are shell shocked from the Barovia campaign.
Yep. No,
Yeah.
This is a weekly event.
I'm following all of this. Here's my problem. When we came back, they were in there. Those guys that we just watched leave are going to come back with no one in it. Because of what we did to the timeline, we took them out of the box. Right now there's no one in the box.
Mhm.
When we come back, there would be no one in the box. We need to put them,
When we come back,
we do what we just did.
yeah,
which was let them out of the box.
Yep.
which
and then
was
you
let
made
them
a
out of
new
the box yesterday.
And then we would move on with our timeline.
Yep.
No, I'm following. When we got there, there was no one in the box. We just didn't know that.
Exactly.
Thank
had
you.
No idea there was no one in the box when you got there.
Okay, so we are in new timeline, and I have no idea what that thing is doing. I don't know that I have enough arcane knowledge to know what spells a thing is casting, but could I try with my time with Thanok and these guys to identify
You can make an Arcana check.
what it's doing? Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah! Screw it. I'm Wargonging it. I'm doing it.
Okay.
Back when you hear a
Um,
little.
Yep.
It is casting a transmutation spell, akin to summoning, but has more of an activation feel to it.
Transmutation that'll be activated when somebody messes with it.
Yeah, that's all you're getting.
Yep. Okay.
So you don't know what it's actually doing, but on your limited amount of
Yep.
arcane knowledge,
And the
that's-
moment I have.
Yep, that's what you get.
Would this is a future question, but would he be able to describe to like Moreland?
I
enough?
definitely think with that role, yes.
Okay.
I have an opportunity to trap this deity. And I don't
Yeah,
know
good
how to.
luck.
I don't know. I mean, you're right. However, oh no, because the Aboleth said that we need to go to Euros and meet
Here,
him.
do this. Pull out one of your tracking beacons and throw it at him, and it'll let me.
Spider trackers.
I mean, I was thinking Batman, but yeah, that too.
I don't have that. I don't.
No,
What?
you don't.
All right, Jeff, you have pondered this for a while.
Yeah.
It has completed its spell, and it starts to move down the hallway towards you. It is one of the most disturbing things you've ever seen because it's coiling in
Yes.
upon itself.
Math.
The coils come out, and it kind of moves like a centipede-faced slinky.
I don't.
Like the coils come out and writhe itself around, and it kind of just works its way down the hallway towards you. It pays you no mind. as you are well hidden and gassy
And invisible. I'm gonna let it
and
go.
invisible,
I'm gonna let it
and
go.
it goes down the hallway,
I'll let it-
screaming the entire time.
Yeah.
So awful.
Maybe he just needs to hear a good joke. Give him Tasha's hideous laughter.
I don't have
Tell
it.
him, just be like, knock knock.
Yeah.
Bucket mouth.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, he's heard this one.
Oh yeah. Totally heard this one.
So you going back in the mansion at this point in time?
Oh god.
Yeah.
No need to. The mansion dissolves itself and everybody comes spilling out onto the ground.
That toxin is ejected.
Yeah.
So Jeff, you describe what you witnessed, and that was a very good roll. And with the role that you have, you describe it in great detail. And Moreland pauses for a minute,
I'm gonna stay a fart cloud.
and then
You can't
I don't
talk
think you
as a
could
fart
talk
cloud.
as a fart cloud.
Rary's telepathic bond.
I suppose in Moreland's there, you do cast it every chance you can.
Yep.
He's confused by it because it's a spell of activation. But he says, "But we defeated the slot."
What does the spell do? What does it do once activated?
I think he's turning on more.
Slots?
Mhm.
So if you guys would have been pulled out of this now, you would have all had slots.
He says that tracks. And he starts to look at himself and he's a little worried.
We pulled you out before this happened.
But he says, we've been with Jenica for 4 months.
Yeah, were any of you with her?
Shut up.
He says, Felrin.
Well, you should probably get him tested for STDs. Slod transmitted diseases.
He says,
I hate you so much.
That's fantastic.
That's for the doll.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
You
Oh,
make that joke, and then he says, one of the colors does
Breed.
breed by disease.
Oh.
I will cast. I'll begin to as soon as I hear that. I'll begin to cast detect disease. It's 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Joke is
Oh, that disease that was filling this place.
You
Maybe.
do detect the spores that were all over the bodies that you found outside.
Oh no.
On them?
They're in the air.
And the rest of everybody else is back at our keep because we just sent them there.
And that's where I'm going to leave you.
Yep.
Oh, our keep is screwed.
No. Cornwall totally has this under control.
No, Cornwall's got a slot and I'm excited. Because a Cornwall slot is explosive.
No.
Slod
If
wall.
anybody has put up defenses for
Against the
Slod,
slod.
it's Cornwall.
It is.
Yeah, his
I can't
defenses
even argue.
blow up our base. His defense against slots is blowing up.
Yeah.
That guy was already working on defenses from outer space.
That's
Like,
the
what
annihilation
got to him?
protocol.
That's
when
where
you found him, they made him mop.
Yes. So
Yeah.
he knows.
He
He
knows.
does know. He probably
And
does
he has
know.
been walking around the keep ever since, being like, we gotta train for this. We gotta, and everybody's like, that dude's crazy. But
Well,
no,
I said I
he's
can't
not.
even argue with
And
it.
here
Wait
they
a
come.
minute. Are we saying that Cornwall is Alex Jones?
Who's Alex Jones?
He's
The
like,
online conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
Like, he's not a nut. He obviously does it to drive ratings and make money. He's brilliant. He's
Yeah,
just
he is.
a jerkwad.
yeah,
He cooks up all sorts of crazy
Yeah.
conspiracy crap.
yeah.
He's probably one of the number one reasons America sucks right now, actually.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
He's in the top 10%.
I would say that he is. Here's what I would say. I would say that he is making money off of why America sucks. That's what I would say.
Maybe.
So
But
I would say that it is a mutually destructive.
you know who
system.
he is? He is that dumb kid with the gas can pouring more gas on the already large bonfire.
Yeah, but there's